Wondery Plus subscribers can listen to Crime and Sports early and ad-free right now. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts.
Rakuten is the smartest way to save money when you shop because you earn cash back at over 3,500 stores. Fashion, beauty, electronics, home essentials, travel, dining, concert tickets, and more. Your favorite stores like Lowe's, Levi's, and Nike pay Rakuten to send them shoppers. And Rakuten then passes on a part of that payment to its members as cash back. You're already shopping at your favorite stores. Why not save while you're doing it? It's a no-brainer. Membership is free and easy to sign up. Get the Rakuten app now and join the 17 million members who are already saving. Cashback rates change daily. See Rakuten.com for details. That's Rakuten. Your cashback really adds up.
Your weekly dose of romance and drama has arrived. Season 29 of The Bachelor is here, and Grant Ellis, certified hottie and former day trader, is trading his day job on Wall Street for a second chance at everlasting love. New episodes drop every Monday at 8/7 Central, bringing you fresh twists in Grant's journey to find his soulmate. This self-proclaimed mama's boy is all grown up and ready to invest his heart. Will his playful charm win over the house full of hopefuls, or will the competition prove too intense? From heartfelt moments to adrenaline-pumping dates, each week brings new surprises in the mansion. Will Grant find his perfect match or end up with a broken heart? Tune in every Monday at 8/7 Central on ABC and stream on Hulu for new episodes of The Bachelor.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Crime and Sports.
Yay!
Oh, yay indeed, Jimmy. Yay indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmie Whisman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us today on another crazy edition of Crime and Sports. This here, by the way, if you add up Small Town Murder and Crime and Sports together, our two main podcasts that we started. Sure. Your stupid opinions aside, because that's not crime and shit, so that's separate. This would be episode 999.
Unbelievable.
Of the two shows. So the next Small Town Murder that comes out is going to be episode 1000 that we've done in true crime, comedy, weird, whatever genre you want to call this that we've been trying to do here. So this is fun stuff. We're very excited here. Before we get to this quickly, shutupandgivememurder.com. That's where you get your tickets for live shows for Small Town Murder. They're all available for 2025, except for one when that'll be announced next week, I believe. So check all those out. Pittsburgh is up first on February 7th, Columbus the next night. Get your asses in there and get some damn tickets for that. Shutupandgivememurder.com. Also, Patreon. Patreon.com/crimeinsports is where you get all of your bonus material.
There you go.
There's tons of it. Anybody $5 a month or above, you get hundreds of episodes of bonus shit that you've never heard before immediately upon subscription. Then you get two new ones every other week. One Crime and Sports, one Small Town Murder, and you, my friends, get it all. This week, what you're going to get for Crime and Sports, back again, personal ads. One of my favorites here. We're going to talk about how you found people before the internet, essentially. Not in person, but before the internet. Yeah, this wasn't, you could go out to a bar still and meet people, but this was, if you wanted to do it from home, this was how you had to do it. You had to put an ad in the newspaper and wait for responses. So that's fun shit.
Sit by your mailbox.
Sit there and wait. Then for Small Town Murder, we are going to talk about the West Memphis 3, and very specifically, because if we just talked about the whole thing, it would be like a 14-hour marathon. So just very specifically, how the hell it even happened. How did they get to the point of getting one of them in there to make that awfully false confession? If you go over it, it's nowhere near anywhere close to what actually the crime scene was or anything. And the whole deal. How did they even get there? How did they even get to the point of talking to these kids? Where did that even come from? We'll talk about all of that and more. Patreon.com/crimeinsports. And you get a shout out at the end of the show as well. Where Jimmy's going to go ahead and mess your name all up.
Probably.
He won't mean to, but he will. Yeah. So that's good. It's all right. That's okay. That said, I think it's time to get down to our guy of the week here. And I must say, I'm not trying to pick on the Vikings.
No?
I just realized that.
Kick them while they're down?
Well, that he's another Viking, and then the last football player we did was also a Viking. So we're really going after Viking
It's all
linemen
right.
lately.
They'll be all right. Their
They'll
team's
be
doing
fine.
very well.
Are they doing well? I
Yeah.
couldn't hate football more than I hate it. Now I can't watch it. It's unwatchable.
I think they won the division this year. Well, maybe Detroit did.
It's
They might
fucking
be second,
unwatchable.
but-
I can't even
yeah.
look at it. So I don't even know who's doing what this year. I couldn't care less.
Really?
It's so bad, dude. It's so fucking bad. It's so bad I can't even watch it. It's just bad.
All right.
It's all the same shit. Every team plays the same fucking game. I'm tired of watching fucking quarterbacks get hurt and then having shittier quarterbacks come in and be terrible. I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of it all. It's just a bad game. It's not a good game anymore.
It really is. It really is bad.
It's bad. I don't want to watch. I'm tired of spread off. I'm just tired of it all. I'm tired of watching the same game every game, no matter who it is.
And you know, it's disheartening when the I don't know. They clearly have an agenda for the game. Like they want a specific thing to happen.
Yeah, they want it to be 42-41.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't want to watch that. That's fucking boring.
They want high scoring shit, man.
I don't want to watch. Just make it 7-on-7 flag football. That's what you want. If you want high scoring, that's what it'll be. That's fine.
Yeah.
But that's not football, in my opinion. I don't care for it. I know we sound 100 saying this, but don't care. Don't like it. And I'm not going to fucking waste my fucking Sundays watching it. No way. Not even.
Yeah.
I have watched about 4 minutes of football this season, and I just shook my head and then turned it off. It's fucking awful.
The NFC North is the most winningest. They are doing They're doing fantastic. But the
I heard
Packers
the Lions
are third,
were good.
and they're 11-5. That's
I heard
insane.
the Lions were good, which I was like, see that right there. Football is completely upside down. If the Lions
on
are
its
good,
head, goddammit.
I'm not watching it. It's upside down. Things are all fucked
the
up.
Vikings are winning the division at the moment. They're 14-2.
Okay, you were looking that up. Good. I couldn't remember because I have a concussion.
They could win. Yeah.
That's another thing. Speaking of offensive linemen and football players here, if I space out for a second, I'm concussed a little bit today. There's a piece of shit diner that has a fucking thing sticking out that's about 6'1", and I bashed my fucking head on it yesterday trying to take my family
3
out
inches
for.
of your head.
Yeah, I knocked me down to about 6'1". Fucked my entire brain up right now, so I am really struggling trying to keep this together. But our guy of the week, Bryant McKinnie. You remember Bryant McKinnie?
When did he play?
The offensive lineman, 2000s into the 2010s. Okay. He was part of the Love Boat scandal that we discussed on Patreon.
Yeah.
And we'll, of course, discuss some of that today, too.
Yeah.
Give you a piece of that. But Bryant Douglas McKinnie, and McKinney is I-E like Jimmie, not like with a Y, like this Jimmie. He's an offensive lineman, so you won't get too many stats today, which is good for everybody here.
And because there's so many, it's hard to keep track of all of them.
Offensive linemen, there's 5, and they don't have any stats. They're generally quiet guys.
Yeah.
Because, what are they going to do? Yeah, I blocked the fuck out of that guy.
Right.
No one
Right.
cares about
Thank
that
you.
or saw that. I mean, that's important. The coaches care about
Certainly,
that.
yeah.
But fans don't necessarily aren't like, I love watching that guy block, man.
Every play.
The way he just keeps a guy in front of him, dude, it's fucking crazy. You don't hear that ever about an offensive lineman. So he's born September 23rd, 1979 in Woodbury, New Jersey, where he is born. He is fucking enormous. Just an absolute gigantic person. During his playing days, he's 6'8".
God damn.
350 pounds. Just a gigantic person.
How do you get past that? I mean, you better be fast as fuck.
You better be, you're not going to outstrength the guy.
You got to get around a wall.
That's a big fucking guy. At some point, too, one of the coaching reports is he doesn't really try to kill the guy after the block and blah, blah, blah. And it's he doesn't have to. He's gigantic. No. What are you talking about? That guy can't have that kind of killer instinct. He'd be in prison by the time he got to the NFL. You can't be that big and that aggressive in life and not end up in prison. It just doesn't happen.
I don't know. Poor bastard, trying to find a car for that man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a fucking bed, never mind a car.
Trying to live a life that size has got to be a nightmare.
It's a horrific fucking thing, I would think here. His mother's name is Michelle, we know here. He's born in Woodbury, played high school football at Woodbury High School in Woodbury, New Jersey. Apparently, he was too big to play football, so he didn't get started till later. Because he was too big, because they have size limits and age limits in youth football.
That you're allowed to be,
And he was always
you'll hurt people.
He was always sized out, even when he was the right age.
Wow.
So the poor guy couldn't play until he was, got to the point where everybody could sign up and everybody played against everybody. So he weighed 130 pounds in the third grade. It's a real big guy, man.
Holy.
Which is 40 pounds more than the weight limit that was imposed by the Pop Warner League in his hometown. He couldn't be more than 90 pounds, and he's $140, so he can't play. Or $130.
Grade.
Third grade.
James, I was 3'3" and weighed 33 pounds in third grade.
That's what I mean.
Bizarre?
It was just all threes.
All threes, yeah.
Jimmie three'd out there.
Yeah.
So he ended up playing basketball
Yeah.
instead and was a center of the Woodbury's basketball teams for his first 2 seasons. And then he played the drum, too, played a drum in the band as well. Okay. So then he kept growing and growing and growing, though. The kid's a weed. He just kept growing. So his father and coaches said, why don't you try out for football in the 11th grade, by the way. Never played football before.
Junior season.
That's how big this man is. He can plunk down in the 11th grade, start playing football, and then we're doing an episode about him. So
and then make the NFL.
And make a lot of money. So that is interesting. He said, I didn't know what I was doing, but I had a lot of fun. I'm sure he's throwing people around. He's probably great at it.
Yeah.
He also wrestled in high school as well. He was 6'8" and 255 pounds going into his senior year of high school. And that's just that's a giant man. That's just a big dude. And they thought he was going to start on both offensive and defensive lines as well.
If his lungs and heart can handle it.
Jesus. Yeah, if he doesn't drop dead on the field like the other was a Corey Stringer, the other
right.
Vikings offensive lineman.
Poor bastard.
So, yeah, there's newspaper reports about him, and you really have to be doing something to get anybody to pay attention to you on the offensive line.
Right. Yeah.
You really have to be crushing it here. So he played defensive line was his main thing in high school, and he signed with the University of Iowa after high school. That's where he wants to play. But he was academically ineligible.
He's a big dumb.
Yeah. He's a big doesn't give a shit about schoolwork. He says, you see how big I am? I don't have to.
Civil War, I'm 6'9".
I don't have to worry about that shit. What is that? 1929 stock mark? I don't know anything about that.
I'm 6'9".
I know about 6'9", not 1929. I know about shit about that. So, yeah, he played all of that. So he ended up having to go to Lackawanna Junior College in Scranton.
Oh.
Yeah, which is not, there's no glory there. Let me tell you something.
Yeah, I haven't heard of them, so I don't think they have any national championships.
It's in Scranton, so either way, you have to live in Scranton while it's going on. So
that's tough. Yeah.
Right away, that's tough. Where he ends up moving to the offensive line there.
Okay.
So I'd be like, listen, Lackawanna College, Iowa wanted me here. Do you really think you have the clout to just move me to another position? I don't think you should, probably.
Right. I think I could play any position I Lackawanna.
Yeah. I'm playing quarterback next game, okay?
I think I get to decide.
I just kind of Lackawanna, and I'm doing it. So he then gained 70 pounds and switched to offensive tackle.
Wow.
Yeah, because you want to be bigger. You got to root yourself and anchor yourself there. So just a big son of a bitch. He's listed here. He is in the newspaper. His coach calls him a fantastic freshman. He just keeps getting better and better with every game. He's very consistent. So that's his coach at Lackawanna. In 2 seasons at Lackawanna, he started all 22 games and earned NJCAA All-America honors. I think that's junior college.
National junior, yeah.
Yeah. His coach, Mark Duda, who played 6 years in the NFL with the Cardinals, actually, said that McKinnie is the best offensive lineman to ever come out of Lackawanna.
I'm sure.
Which is a high honor. That's a very high honor. That's like saying...
He's just the biggest. That's all.
Yeah, it's like saying he's the tallest guy to ever graduate from elf camp. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? He said he has more potential than I've ever dreamed of having. It's shocking for a lot of people to see how he played. It's not shocking to us at all. We expected it.
Sure.
He said he's been lifting weights. He gained 40 pounds and grew 2 inches in a year. And he said he's got the DNA to be a tremendous player. He's just been doing all this. September, this is from later on, but I guess Duda, the coach there, tells a story about Bryant McKinnie that is pretty weird here. Okay, he came to Lackawanna as a 6'8", 285-pound defensive lineman. Duda and his staff made him into a offensive lineman, obviously a good one here. So I guess they said that Duda saw McKinnie as an opportunity to gain a foothold at Penn State. He wanted to get a coaching job at Penn State because he was saying, like, if I can give you this guy, then you. That's how coaching works a lot. A lot of high school coaches become college coaches because they convince some player to go play somewhere. Yeah, it's a real disgusting.
You got that guy. Why don't you just come along too?
Well, it's part of the game. Yeah, it's part of the game. So it's, in lieu of just direct payments to these people, they give them jobs instead. So I guess Dick Anderson, who was Penn State's quarterbacks coach and one of the big recruiters there, he said this guy met with Duda to discuss Bryant McKinnie and all that kind of thing. And this guy said, this guy. He's the Anderson guy. He said there was nobody like him in the entire country. You could go from Maine to California and not find a 6'8" guy who could move like that. They just don't exist. So the coach said, I'll take it back to Joe, meaning Joe Paterno, the coach, longtime and semi-disgraced coach of Penn State at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, he was never fingering anybody, but he definitely was turning a fucking blind eye to a lot of shit.
And the fingering scandal certainly killed him. Jesus.
Yeah, and Joe Paterno, I mean, I grew up loving Joe Paterno just because he's like the old Italian man of, that's everybody's grandpa is Joe Paterno. But you can't be letting people diddle your grandsons. That's not part of this shit.
Can't look the other way, Joe Pa.
Jesus Christ. So she said Joe Paterno sent a message back to Duda saying that it was something that either ranks as ridiculous or more than likely a lie. The coach didn't believe that he was 6'8" and could move like that. He's like,
impossible.
Get the fuck. Because if you're a coach, and especially like that, or in scouting and baseball, you hear these big fish stories about
Tall
these
tales.
kids. Oh God, this kid, he's 6'6", he runs a 4.240. Fucking, he hits 600-foot home runs. It's crazy.
He throws an 80-yard bomb.
Yeah. Well, I guess this guy came back and said, Coach says he's too tall.
Okay.
He's too tall to be an offensive lineman. He can't do it.
What else is he going to do?
Which is pretty fucking funny. Not good, but he ends up being a great offensive lineman, so it was pretty funny. This guy, Duda, said, I couldn't get an Outland Trophy winner to Penn State. So he's like, I couldn't get somebody who's such a good offensive lineman.
Yeah.
Didn't want to go to Penn State. So December 15th, 1988, he gets a scholarship to Miami.
Oh.
As we've talked about. I don't know. Now, this is right before the song that came out. Right. It's a little before that, but he just missed being a part of that group. He just missed telling people about his third leg, which is a fucking
he just
plus.
missed being on the 7th floor.
Yeah, if you do not subscribe to Patreon, you have no idea what we're talking about, and you're missing out hard.
Well, we'll tell you this. Room 704 has got a lot of DNA in it.
If you ever just any room 704 you see, avoid it. I don't care where it is.
I don't care if it's the Holiday Inn.
Doesn't matter. No, especially if it's a Holiday Inn.
You demand a different room.
Anything, anywhere it is at all. Flight 704, take a different flight. It's going to be covered in jizz. You don't want it. Trust me.
Greg Olson came all over that.
All over that and bragged about it.
Yeah.
So, he's going to go play for Miami. A couple other guys on the team get scholarships to other places. Mm-hmm. Now they're listing him like a wrestler, basically. Like wrestlers are always listed a couple inches above what they actually are. Yeah. The newspaper has him listed at 6'11", 320 pounds at this point.
Stretching him.
He's definitely not 6'11". Some of the articles said 6'9" earlier when he's 6'8", and then these say 6'11" now. After a while, he's just going to be 7'4". They're going to Andre the Giant him. 7'4", 540
big
pounds.
Enough, you guys? Jesus.
Nope. Apparently not. Not for them. So, he's going to go down there. McKinnie said, I like the school and the people there. Visiting Miami. I felt comfortable when I was there. It's a good school. Well, it's not a good school, but for football it is. It's great.
It's a good school.
Not a good school, Bryant. Come on now.
Nobody's ever said, my dentist went to the University of Miami. You know how storied they are.
Nobody prominently displays their University of Miami medical license up on their whatever the fuck medical school education up there.
I'll go elsewhere, thank
you.
Second opinion will be had.
Their medical school is strictly, it's one course, and it's how to bring people back to life after they've had too many Jell-O shots. That's it. Too much
It's how to
RH.
deliver Narcan.
I was gonna say too much ribinol. That's all it is. How do we get you out of a fucking roofie state? That's medical training at the University of Miami. Oh, no, I'm sorry, and VD, of course, and how to treat fucking aggressive forms of syphilis. That too, obviously. I don't know what I was thinking there. You got to know that. It's running rampant down there. You kidding me?
How to quell the side effects of too much bleach in the hair.
Yeah, that
Bleach
sort of thing.
poisoning to the scalp.
When you're bleaching your pubes, it starts to soak in after a while, and you got to certain treatments you have to make to it.
Ah, shit.
So Duda, his old coach at Lackawanna, said Bryant is one of the finest offensive line prospects in the school's history. He has the combination of speed and size, and that is absolutely rare, and I feel his work ethic and attitude are only going to make him much better at the next level. He said, I feel
credit for it.
Yeah, he
They
said,
did it.
I feel we've only scratched the surface with this kid.
Yeah.
I've done it all.
We've made him into such an amazing talent.
And then my favorite line that'll be really fun later. People should just keep reminding him he said this line. He's been a gentleman all the way through. A gentleman. It's a real gentleman. Yeah. That'll go away quick in Miami, don't worry.
He's kept it under wraps in Scranton.
No shit. McKinney said, I don't mind playing defense, but I'm getting used to playing offense now, and I like it. So he's going to do it. Lackawanna won their conference's championship, by the way, while he was there. Sure. So good for him. University of Miami, he transfers down there. He redshirts in 1999. So that's actually his third. He's going into his fourth year of college, which is normally
a 20-year-old man, 21.
Which can only benefit him in terms of, physicality and all that.
He's going to
thing.
push 18-year-olds around.
Absolutely. Then he started the next 2 years at left tackle, which is the most important position on the line. I mean, center, obviously, too.
Sure.
Center's got a lot going on and guards pull, but that left tackle's protecting the blind side. So unless you want your quarterback murdered, he's pretty important shit. So he does that. He during his college career, he did not allow a sack.
Didn't allow anybody to get beyond him.
Never allowed a sack in his whole college career. To have a left tackle that you just know no one's coming from that side. The confidence that would give a quarterback would be incredible.
Abound,
knowing I don't ever have to look backwards over my shoulder just to make sure that guy's not going to kill me. Like that
side's covered.
That's huge, man. So big stuff here. So he's on the team. The Hurricanes here, what is it? Butch Davis is their coach. Wasn't he San Francisco's coach for a minute? 49ers, I believe. He was the guy who wanted to wear a suit again because his dad was a coach and his dad wore a suit on the sideline. I believe he wanted to wear a suit and the NFL wouldn't let him.
Who was his dad?
Something Davis. I don't fucking know.
Probably Butch Davis Sr.
Butch Davis, yeah. So interesting. Okay, that's very, very interesting. That's that guy, I remember. 2000 here. Mm-hmm. He is he's playing. They're still listing him at 6'9" again now. They're just giving him a little boost here. Everybody that they play who's really good at pass rushing, they just have an article of like, this guy came into this fucking game with 10 sacks and Bryant McKinnie shut him down. That's every article there.
Sure.
Is that. So he's very, very excited. They said Butch Davis said he could potentially become the prototype of a left tackle, essentially. He said, I think he's going to be a pro football player, and he won't even really hit his peak till his third or fourth year in the NFL. As good a kid as he is, and he's plenty good, his upside is even better. He knows he has a lot to learn. He pays attention. He tries hard. He's going to be a terrific player. At this point, he's like this freak, gigantic athlete that's only been playing offensive line for a short amount of time. So they're saying, he's only going to learn more and get better.
Good for him.
Good for him is right. They said, here's one of the coaches said, the sky's the limit for that guy. He has the size and capability of doing whatever he wants.
Wow.
And here's an article calling him a quiet giant.
Okay, yeah.
And that's what a lot of people.
Quiet giant, sure. Those are the nice ones to be.
A lot of people say about him is that he is very quiet, very chill, very chill. His mother here said, quote, he's so laid back. His mother, by the way, is the manager of the Atlantic City Convention Center.
Really?
Yeah, he said he's so laid back that I can't get anything out of him. Last night I was walking him to his dorm, and I'm like, what happened to linebacker Dan Morgan during the Louisiana Tech game? Is he okay? And he said, here, talk to 88. And I had to talk to tight end Jeremy Shockey to find out. Wow. Unbelievable. Shockey, by the way, is like the who Gronkowski modeled himself after. He's like, you know what? If you could be that guy, but like dumber, you could really fucking do something. You could really do something in this league. I'm telling you, you just got to be even fucking dumber.
I feel like Shockey was involved in something, and then they questioned him about it, and he said he didn't remember.
Yes,
or something.
I believe
he's just
so.
Dumb. He's
a dumb fuck.
Or it's calculated stupidity, and he's a menace. Either way, I don't want anything to do with that guy.
No, fuck no. He's 704. He looks like he'd go back after he graduated just to hang out there in 704. So even his mother asks him a straight question. He goes, I've talked to that guy. I don't even
talk to 8. I don't know.
Not talking to your mom. She also said, I talked to teammate Vernon Casey to find out what's going on. I talked to Jarrett Payton to find out what's going on. I showed Bryant the paper after the Florida State game, and he said, yeah. So there
it is. Yeah,
he's a real voluble guy. He's going to host a talk show when he's done with this shit. So he was a history major, and they just said he's just kind of mellow. He said,
really?
Yeah, he's a history major. So, I mean, probably not very good at it if he didn't have the grades to go to Iowa.
Right. He's learning it all now.
A history major at the University of Miami is like, they teach you from like 1987 on.
When did we start selling Natty Ice?
That's it, yeah.
Piggly Wiggly or the
from that on. It's from the invention of Gatorade on. Yeah. That's when they. I know that's Florida, but still.
It's all just Florida facts.
It's all Florida bullshit, yeah. It's all they teach you about. He says, Bryant said, I'm not very loud. I'm not very rowdy. Yeah, I'm pretty laid back. If I was too jittery on the field, I'd lose my focus. Okay. He said, I never envisioned getting the attention I'm getting. I read articles that there was speculation that I'm turning pro, but no one ever asked me about it. I have an extra year, and I might as well take advantage of that school-wise, and I'd like to get more experience in football. He said, Coach Keogh would kill me if I turned pro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet, because he wants to keep your giant fucking ass there to make him money.
He needs that wall that doesn't allow sacks.
Yeah. Well, the coach says he's the key to our pass protection, so without him, you're pretty fucked, man. Yeah. This is a University of Michigan or Minnesota. I don't know. UM offensive tackle Joaquin Gonzalez said, look at the kid. He's a specimen. He probably has the best tools of any O-lineman who's come by here in a while. Can you imagine him next year?
Yeah.
Have you ever gotten a message out of the blue? Maybe you ignore them. Or maybe you end up in conversation. Maybe they tell you about an amazing offer. I can really show you how to make some money. And maybe that gets you into a lot of trouble. But this isn't a story about people like you, the people receiving these messages. This is a story about the people behind the messages, on the other end of the line. Thousands of them, working in a microcity built for scammers. From Wondery, the makers of Dr. Death and Kill List, comes Scam Factory, a new series about survival at the expense of others. Follow Scam Factory on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to Scam Factory early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts.
A few miles from the glass spires of Midtown Atlanta lies the South River Forest. In 2021 and 2022, the woods became a home to activists from all over the country who gathered to stop the nearby construction of a massive new police training facility, nicknamed Cop City.
At approximately 9 o'clock this morning, as law enforcement was moving through various sectors of the property, an individual, without warning, shot a Georgia State Patrol trooper.
This is We Came to the Forest, a story about resistance.
The abolitionist mission isn't done until every prison is empty and shut down.
Love and fellowship,
It was probably the happiest I've ever been in my life.
And the lengths we'll go to protect the things we hold closest to our hearts. Follow We Came to the Forest on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can binge all episodes of We Came to the Forest early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus.
Yeah, because they're talking about him mulling the NFL, but he said he's not even thinking about it.
Yeah.
But these articles, there's all sorts of articles that are, saying that he is. But then they get a quote from him saying, I'm not sure. I'm still thinking about it, but I haven't made any decisions. It might depend on how I play in the bowl game. Right now, I'm really thinking about beating Florida. Okay. Fuck Florida. I'm thinking about buying a house if I'm him.
Yeah, I'm thinking about putting my mom in a nicer place.
Fuck Florida, man. Florida does not need that.
Making her not have to watch another god-awful boxing match.
Fuck no. One coach said Bryant has had 11 games of major college experience. I mean, if you were the general manager of one of the teams and you were going to stake your franchise on someone who's played 11 games, that'd be tough. You know what I mean? Yeah, that might be there. Now, right under that, though, so what? He doesn't want to go to college. Maybe that's because he wants to go to one of these fine establishments that are advertised under this.
In Miami.
Well, there is Magic Health. You can come there. All right. Magic Health claims to be a jacuzzi, body spa, and massage. They say lap of luxury, full body relaxation and relief.
And relief.
I mean, full body relaxation right away tells me full body means your dick also.
Yeah.
And relief means just in case that wasn't clear enough for you, you will come also. That's it. If they said release, it'd be worse.
The most ball-draining massage you've ever had.
That's what they should advertise. That's exactly what they should advertise. Then there's one, Pure Pleasure, this one is.
Yeah.
And around the title of the place, it says rated #1 on both sides.
Where?
Gorgeous female staff. Okay, that's not a legitimate massage place if they're telling you how hot the staff is. You ever gone to a dentist's office and been like, our assistants are smoking, fucking smoking hot. You'll have a boner the whole time.
In your mouth, these hot bitches.
They'll be drilling. Your dick will be so hard you won't even care. That's how hot they are.
Yeah.
Private suites, discounted sessions. Then it says relax with the best.
Private suites.
Private suites.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Here's one. Downtown, flat rate special, tip included. Female hands, ... soft, ... relaxing, and oh so soothing. No shit
They're not even hiding it.
No. Grand opening. Beautiful angels with a heavenly touch. Come enjoy with us. Dude, that's fucking amazing. Then finally, this one says, fuck it. Yeah. We're going all out. Studio One, Taylor, Madison, and Serena, and are totally nude. We will meet or beat any price, any day, anytime. 2 a.m., $30? Get your ass down there and blow that guy.
We'll do it for $29.
We'll do it for $29 an hour earlier.
Tip included.
Tip fucking include. Totally nude. So that's what's right under there. That's amazing.
Unbelievable.
Holy shit. Yeah. So during the week of the Sugar Bowl this year, University of Miami and Florida teams engaged in an infamous street fight in New Orleans. For the Sugar Bowl. Yeah, it was a big deal at the time. It was dubbed the Bourbon Street Brawl. Up to 25 players engaged in a street brawl in the middle of Bourbon Street. They went to the biggest tourist spot.
This for tomorrow?
No,
God damn.
They went to the biggest tourist spot in the whole fucking city. They'd be like, I'll meet you in Times Square. We're going to go right... What the fuck,
We're going to throw down in front of the fucking...
right under the Lion King sign on Broadway, motherfucker. You and me! It's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Get you in front of
the Flatiron Building. Let's get after it.
Holy shit. That is crazy. Several of University of Florida football players showed signs of the fight with bruises on their faces in the interviews and the press conferences leading up to the game.
Hilarious.
Which is hilarious. No arrests were made, by the way. 25... giant people brawling in the street, and the cops went, well, we'll just let that go. But
Goose eggs and black eyes talking about, how do you feel about the game today?
But you know how many public urination arrests they make in New Orleans?
Yeah,
thousands.
right.
25 giant guys fighting in the streets. We'll let that go.
It makes sense why Bourbon Street's one of the fucking most dangerous places in the United States.
They don't care.
They don't give a
They're
fuck.
just
There's
worried
more
you piss.
rapes
That's it.
on the street.
They
They
go, oh, it was jizz that came out? That's fine. As long as it wasn't urine, we're fine. All they care about is public urination. That's it.
Oh, that place.
That's why that city
gross.
is a fucking disgusting shithole.
Yeah, it's a
Horrible
cesspool.
place.
Yeah.
Ugh, disgusting. And it's humid, too, while all the piss smells. It's just gross, man.
And it's the crazy. I've never seen a street so long, obviously so super narrow too, but all the attention is just on that street. The intersections,
They don't
50 feet away from the fucking street, there are bars there,
Empty.
dead.
Yeah.
Empty. Street, shoulder to shoulder, packed with people.
Doesn't
and
make
these
sense.
bars right around the corner, empty. It's
Doesn't make any
unbelievable.
sense.
Never seen anything like that before.
A weird fucking place, man. Weird fucking place, New Orleans. So after the Sugar Bowl, Butch Davis, the head coach of Miami, accepted the head coaching job. Wow, he's going to regret this later.
Yeah. Whoops-a-daisy.
For the Cleveland Browns at that time. That is not
Whoops-a-daisy.
good. Got
They
the
made
Tim
him
Couch
GM,
Browns.
James.
Oh yeah, no, they had to make him a huge deal to
Yeah.
make him. He didn't want to go there. They had to. He was very sought after.
Really?
So yeah, the Miami, on the other hand, goes on to do very well. In 2001, the next season, they start out ranked number 1.
Yeah.
And the 2000 team, though, was featured on the ESPN 30 for 30 documentary, The U Part 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's still like Clinton Portis and guys like that were there that year. January 2001, he's made his decision.
Here we go.
And he decides that he is going to play. Oh, wow. Okay. He says, yes, he's going to play in the NFL. He lives in Lang City, New Jersey now. Yeah.
That was some good suspense, James.
Sorry about that. I got lost and I'm a little concussed also. So I was like, oh, he lives in Lang City. That's interesting. And then my brain started going, you have to keep telling the story.
Where's he going?
God damn that fucking diner. I want to. If it ever burns to the ground, I should be arrested for it because it was me. No, I did. It was me.
All right.
If it burns, fucking assholes. So
he's leaving the U. He's going to go.
No.
The draft.
He's going to stay. I guess. Yeah. He wants. His mother said to stay.
Oh.
He wants to stay.
Wow.
Yeah, he's going to stay. He said, "Fuck it, I'm staying."
That's
was named
ballsy, right?
Yeah, he was named first team All-American. Mel Kiper said he's one of the top underclassmen offensive linemen. Yeah. So he has all the reason in the world to come out, but he says, "Nope, I'm staying."
That is ballsy because if somebody falls behind you and you don't see them, that could take your knee and your career's over.
Your big 6'8" ass can be fucked. Yeah. That's the thing. You go and you get that signing bonus now because that's all you're fucking guaranteed. Yeah. And, put that in something. So this is what Bryant said, though. I didn't want to be selfish to my teammates. Huh? What are you kidding me?
Fuck them.
Those teammates would fuck your mother in front of you if they could. Yeah. Are you joking right now?
If it meant the Cowboys were going to draft them number 1, they'd rape your mother without her consent.
In room 704 and then rap about it.
And high five Greg Olson.
Greg Olson would fucking hit her in the face with his third leg. Wow. He said, I didn't want to be selfish to my teammates. That is crazy.
He really is a gent.
Wow, we were only 1 game from the national championship this year, and I figure we can get back there. So he wants to do that. That's amazing, man. He said there was a lot put in front of me. It was definitely tough. This is my future, I would say. He said that Butch Davis was relieved. He said he wasn't too sure what I was going to do. He just wanted me to make the right decision for me. And his mother believed all along that he should return to school. That's his mother wanted him to get his degree. That's what she wants. Like he's going to graduate anyway. So either way, he's doing this shit. They said that he was going to be a first-round draft pick and decided against it. He said, there were times I told myself that I was going for sure. The whole bowl week, I just kind of told myself that. But now I just think this year was the year to get my name out there. Next year, I want to be, the best here. Yeah. That's the shit. So January 30th, 2001, Butch Davis resigns, and he's going to go fucking coach for Cleveland. So Butch Davis convinced this guy to fucking stay and then left. And this guy's talking about, I don't want to be selfish, Bryant's saying.
I'm going to go be in charge of the Cleveland fucking Browns.
Oh, my God. This is from a newspaper article. It says, Bruce Davis's resignation had a larger effect on 2 juniors who had the chance to leave school early for the NFL. Yeah, left tackle Bryant McKinnie and safety Ed Reed You know
what?
him.
He did
Great
it to
player.
Ed Reed, too.
Yep. Turned down opportunity to turn pro in part because they believed Davis would be the coach in 2001.
Yeah.
He said that they both spoke with Davis extensively about their decisions to stay in school or apply for the draft. McKinnie said, if I would have known, probably it would have made a difference, but it's too late now.
Right.
Wow, that's fucked up, man. The coaches do that shit all the time.
Unbelievable. Ed Reed, one of the kindest people. Ed Reed was such a great guy and an unbelievable
He's a great
safety.
fucking player.
God damn.
Terrific player. Absolutely great. So this is Larry Coker as the coach now.
Uh-huh.
They're going to finish this season 12-0.
Wow.
Yes, and they go to the Rose Bowl, which will serve as the BCS National Championship game, where they will play Nebraska in the national title game. I actually remember this. This was the game, if I recall.
Did Nebraska win?
No, Miami won this game, but this was the game, if I'm not mistaken, in 2001, where Willis McGahee blew out his fucking knee.
Yeah.
He was going to be like top 5 draft pick and blew his fucking knee out. That was like, I remember watching that going, oh my God, that sucks so fucking bad. Because you could just see him going, this is costing me millions
of dollars.
Fuck. This means nothing.
Yeah. He played for the Bills and the Ravens too, right?
Yeah, he ended up being a damn good running back, but I mean,
he came back, but not potential.
I don't know. Yeah, it fucked him all up. It really held him back a year and all that kind of thing.
I think he got injured in the NFL with his knee again, too.
I think so, too, later. November 17th, 2001, by the way, this is from the season, talking about how Syracuse, when they played Miami, that Feeney here, or Freeney, I'm sorry, Dwight Freeney, the great Colts defensive lineman there.
Hall of Famer.
Couldn't get shit on him. He didn't get a single tackle that game.
Wow.
Nothing. He said Freeney wants to make his first $1 million off me, is what McKinnie said. And he said he wasn't going to fucking let him. He said no. McKinnie said, I'm not a trash talker at all. I don't really talk too much about anything. I just go out there and play. That's what he said. So McKinnie said, it pumps me up. I'm going against the top players in college football. People want to see what I'm made of, and people want to see what he's made of.
That is what's a bummer about being the best, is that they're going to put their best on you. And
always.
You're going to have to prove your mettle every single play.
Well, everybody's always going to be pumped up to play, and everyone's going to be coming for you all the time. And
wild.
That's how it is. That's anybody with – that's. I remember there's a big deal. Jordan talking about that in the 90s with the Bulls. It was like, we got everybody's fucking A game. Like, nobody took a night off against us ever.
No,
they were jacked for us. They'd take fucking, they're playing Charlotte the next day. They might take that off, but they're coming for us. You know what I mean?
And I don't think Freeney is 6'9".
No, he's a big motherfucker, but he's not 6 foot fucking 8.
Huge,
he's not 6'11" like our guy here.
He's not 7'2". Shit.
I mean, shit. But yeah, he allowed 0 tackles against Freeney.
Wow.
So that in the NFL, that's what they're going to see. Those are 2 top prospects, and one shutting the other one down.
Right. Yeah, Freeney's 6'1", and that's probably stretched. He's probably 5'11".
That's the different type of thing.
Yeah.
And he said McKinnie said this was the matchup everyone wanted to see.
Yeah.
That's it. So anyway, he ends up getting his knee scoped after the regular season to remove bone chips and loose cartilage here. Yeah, had the surgery in early December, but they have like a month before the bowl game. Yeah. So he was able to recover and still start the Rose Bowl.
Sure.
So it really didn't do anything. He's recognized as a unanimous first-team All-American in 2001, winner of the Outland Trophy also, which is the best offensive lineman. Finished 8th in voting for the Heisman Trophy as an offensive lineman.
That's absurd.
You don't even have any stats. So, that's fucking crazy.
You're going to compare that to Reggie Bush? Like, that's crazy.
Wild. And he was the CNN Sports Illustrated Player of the Year as well. And he's a national champion, and he was roommates with Jeremy Shockey as well. So he's ready for the next level here.
Sure is.
There's a whole article about how humble he is here. Star treatment doesn't change Miami tackle.
Okay.
Jesus Christ. McKinnie said, a buddy of mine came over to me and said, do you want to meet Shaq? Shaquille O'Neal. Yeah. And I was like, it's okay. I've met him a couple other times before. O'Neal later. Yeah, it's cool. I know Shaq.
It won't be the first time.
I mean, I'm taller than him based on these newspaper articles, so it's no big deal. He said O'Neal later came over to McKinnie McKinnie said, that's somebody who I would like to be like. You dominate in your sport and you're still down to earth.
Yeah.
That's what they're talking about here. That's what he wants to do. He said,
That's bizarre with Shaq, right?
Yeah.
Does he think that he actually behaves like he's not one of the best centers ever in history?
Yeah, that's his outward thing.
Right? It's got to be, right?
Yeah, it's bullshit.
He knows.
If you've ever, I've read books about, the Lakers behind the scenes when that goes. Yeah. Shaq's a giant ego.
Yeah.
Huge
star, for
monster ego, giant star, a little bit of a baby when it comes to some shit. Like
his first and last name rhyme, and it's super fun to say, and you still call him Shaq.
You still call him Shaq. Yeah.
That's insane.
But he is, for a guy like that who's always been paid attention to and had every bit of attention,
right.
Number one draft, all that kind of shit.
Put him in movies before he's in the NBA.
He's a remarkably non-jaded guy by this point, I would say. Right. He's always, from what I've heard, he's always been very nice to kids. Always had time without molesting them or anything either.
Right.
You know what I mean? Always had time for kids and always had time for people who aren't famous and shit like that. So that's very
welcome
nice
to be welcoming of being the butt of the joke, because it's still I don't care, motherfucker. I got way more money than you.
I'm doing great.
You'll never be me.
No shit. So April 20th, 2002 is the NFL draft. Baby. And the offensive rookie of the year that year was his college teammate back then, Clinton Portis. So that's good. He knows him. Passing leader that year, Rich Gannon. Forgot all about him.
Is that right? With the Raiders?
With the Raiders. And then Ricky Williams as your rushing leader.
Oh, yeah, because they lost in the Super Bowl. That's right. They were doing very well.
Yep. Yeah. Number one overall draft pick, 2002. Jimmy, you should know this one. No, he's not. God. I'm asking you who's the number one draft pick.
I don't. Fuck. In 2002? Was it Ryan Leaf?
It is not. It was 99.
Oh, okay. God damn it. 2002. Fuck. Who the hell even knows?
David Carr.
Oh,
that
shit.
Poor
that
bastard.
Poor son of a bitch.
Went to Texas or Houston and got the living shit kicked out of him with an expansion team with no offensive line for years until he was turned into a backup through no fault of his own. And then he had the balls, the absolute balls to be on Twitter. I mean, it's his brother, so he's allowed to, but just pumping him up, acting like they're going to win the Super Bowl. And I'm just like, dude, him and I had a spat back and forth, so much so that he got into my DMs to defend himself. David Carr?
Yeah.
Number one.
Your brother's not that good, and he wears eyeliner. Calm down.
Calm the fuck down. Well, at least he's not running for his life like poor David Carr. Number two overall pick is Julius Peppers, who's a great player.
Great pick. Great pick.
Joey Harrington, the Detroit's. Jesus Christ. They knew how to pick those quarterbacks back in the day.
He was Cleveland. Both ruined them.
Fuck. Mike Williams, Quentin Jammer, number 5, Ryan Sims at number 6, and then number 7 overall, the Minnesota Vikings take Bryant McKinnie. 7th. Top 10 draft pick.
They didn't need anything in 2002, evidently. They're picking linemen?
Fuck, man. Well, the franchise left tackle is a great pick.
That's a good. But that's not
a great
first round shit, is it?
Fuck yeah, franchise left tackle is a number 1 overall pick now. I mean, that's
yeah.
Tony Baselli, that was the Jags' number 1 overall pick, and he was the cornerstone of their team for 15 years. You know what I mean? It was a great pick. Left tackle, quarterback.
Yeah.
Those you look for who can we get that's an anchor if you're an expansion team or something, you want quarterback, left tackle, middle linebacker, somebody like that.
I'm shocked they didn't have one yet in 2000.
Apparently not one like him.
Yeah.
So after that was Roy Williams, the defensive back of Dallas. Dwight Freeney, number 11. So, I mean, they ended up pretty close to each other. Dante Stallworth that year.
Was he drafted by the Colts and played his whole fucking career there?
Drafted by the Colts, absolutely.
Wow.
Number 11, Jeremy Shockey. Number 14. Number 15, Albert Hainsworth.
Yeah.
These are all the guy who couldn't pass his physical test there. Philip Buchanan there, the Oakland defensive lineman. There is one Hall of Famer in the 2002 draft at this point.
It's not Freeney?
It is Ed Reed, who was also drafted number 24 overall that year as well. So
I thought Freeney was in the Hall of Fame.
He might be no, he's not here. No,
not
yet.
How about that?
Also, Jeremy Stevens, another alumni. There's like 5 alumni in this first round, by the way. It's Crime and Sports alumni I'm talking about.
Right, yeah.
Jeremy Stevens is the one that was, what's her name's fucking boyfriend there?
I don't know.
We did the episode on both of them. He's the Seattle tight end.
I forget.
Him and his girlfriend, the one who you called her pussy gross.
Yeah. Hope.
That's the one. Yeah, Hope, whatever the fuck.
The soccer player.
The soccer player, thank you. Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
It's a mess, poor thing.
It does. It does look like a shotgun wound down there. So, an exit, too. It's not even an entrance, an exit.
Yeah.
So here is the report on Bryant McKinnie. This is from Draft Central here.
Yeah.
Positives, a planet player.
Huh?
Meaning there are very few people in the history of the planet who are as big as McKinnie and can do the things he does on a football field.
Okay.
He has the wingspan of a 747 and does an excellent job of using his hands and long arm. There's actual measurements you can use.
Yeah, it's a good thing they didn't exaggerate on this at all.
Good thing they kept it to measurables. That's good. Using his long arms to punch and redirect rushers. With his size and wingspan, getting around him is like circumventing the globe. This is a really...
Okay. Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ. Seems to have a feel for the position despite his limited football background. Is light on his feet and athletic, slides his feet fluidly, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Yeah. Negatives.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can't jump to the moon.
Yeah. Negatives. Doesn't dunk well on a 17-foot rim. Negatives. Is not a real killer or that intense all the time. He's an offensive lineman. They're generally...
That's why he gets to play, because he's not a killer. He's not in jail.
Offensive linemen they're deflecting things. They're generally they're the Tai Chi. If everybody on the field is a different like martial art, they're the Tai Chi. Yeah. They're redirecting energy and that's what they do. You come too hard, great. I'll push you off in the direction this way, away from the quarterback. They're using your own energy against you half the time.
Evidently, they need him to stab people in the fucking neck.
They need him to be like, yeah, motherfucker, I'll kill you and eat your children. He said, does the job, but does not seem to want to finish all his blocks and really punish the man he's blocking. This person just wants violence. Yeah.
Carnage.
He wants superfluous violence really bad. Doesn't give the guy an extra kick in the face when he's on the ground. Does he keep the guy?
Indiana Jones rip hearts out on the 50-yard line?
Yeah. No. Punish the man he's blocking, except when the big guy is upset about some tactic the defender used. Yeah, I'm cool, but you piss me off, then I'm coming for you and I'm giant. So guess what? Yeah. Be cool with me and I'll be cool with you. That's kind of how it is in the trenches with these guys. A lot of times you make a deal with somebody like that, kind of. No cheap shots on my end.
Right. I'm not going to play dirty if you don't play dirty. Just keep my fingers straight today. I don't want to end up with gnarled hands when I retire.
Whereas an offensive lineman will go, you roll over on my knee, that next play, my finger's going to be in your fucking eye when I come up to block you.
Spit in your fucking mouth in the pile.
I'm going to jam a finger in your eye. Yeah. Is so big and talented that he does not have to do the little extras that could make him extra special, does not push himself as much as he should in practice, has not spent enough time working in the weight room to improve his strength and flexibility, still learning the game and lack of experience will hurt him, looks indecisive and struggles in times in the open field when his assignments are not clearly defined and he has an option of who to block. That's one area where his limited football background seems to hurt him. Where he has been durable and very effective, McKinnie may not always push himself as much as he should in practice. In terms of size, is similar to Jonathan Ogden, but McKinnie does not have Ogden's super athletic ability, flexibility, or feet. So they do say that he could become a perennial all-pro type player.
He didn't allow a sack in college, you guys. What are we talking about?
It's crazy. In a whole year.
He plays football, and he does great at it.
That's a scout really nitpicking just in case.
Yeah.
Well, later on, if it comes up that, he doesn't have a good enough motor, now the scout can go, well, I told you that in my fucking report.
Yeah.
So not my fault. This is basically just any negative you could find just to keep it so you don't get in trouble later. So, he ends up signing with the Vikings here. McKinnie, the coach Mike Tice said at 1:39 in the morning, I woke up sweating and dreamed that I was announcing Bryant McKinnie as our first-round pick. And that's what they did. That's what they did.
He is horny for McKinnie. Good for him.
He woke up sweating in the middle of the night thinking about a 6 foot fucking 11 475-pound man. Holy shit. Tice said, when I interviewed Bryant at the Combine, I told him, I don't even know why I'm wasting my time talking to you. You're not going to be around when we pick anyway.
Wow, he really thought he was 6 slots higher.
Wow. Well, he never gave up a goddamn sack in college, so I can imagine he would think that. So McKinnie here, I guess he was going around, there's a fluff piece on him, going through the Miami Children's Hospital, posing for pictures and signing autographs.
Attaboy.
And he still hasn't signed yet, though, with Minnesota. That's the problem here. He said he doesn't want to sell himself short.
Okay.
He said that we're going to eventually come to an agreement. How long that takes, I don't know why it should take this long. If you're going to sign me eventually, then you should have just done it from the beginning and got it over with.
Right.
I would say so. They said that the NFL Players Association is continuing a collusion investigation into the matter and has scheduled a deposition with Vikings Vice President of Football Operations.
Oh.
So they're saying they're trying to freeze him out, basically.
Yeah.
And Bryant said, if you settle for a horrible deal, you'll sell yourself short. That's not something I want to do. You need to get the most out of what you most you can get to benefit yourself, because the minute you get hurt or cut, that's the end of your career, and you never know when that is. I guess they were about $1.5 million apart.
That's a bit.
Yeah, that's it. So he says if it's a few bucks, it's one thing. He said, for me, I'm arguing over a big sum of money. It's not a couple thousand or anything like that. It's $1.5 million. That's a big difference.
It's a lot of money. Yeah.
Absolutely. So I'm going to say here, grace. This is grace here. They're throwing millions at him. He's never given up a sack. He's doing phenomenal. Grace.
The best in his life is worrying about that 1.5.
That's it. And then he, on October 15th, 2002, this isn't going to help his marketing or his negotiating position. He is going to be accused of assaulting a man in Miami.
Really?
Well, that's looking pretty aggressive. You're saying he's not aggressive enough?
Yeah.
Maybe that's what he's trying to show, aggression.
Why is he still in Miami?
Apparently, this was over the summer. He is accused of beating and severely injuring a man.
I bet Miami in the summer is a little bit nicer than Minneapolis.
In the summer?
Yeah. For a college kid? Yeah.
Oh, God. You couldn't fucking pay me to go anywhere near Miami in the summer.
You're
it's
a
so
45-year-old man.
When I was fucking 18, I didn't want to go there. It's disgusting.
But if you're a star, it's probably, and 6'9", it's probably amazing.
No, not for me.
No?
But, no. Minnesota's beautiful in the summer. Take me there.
Yeah, it
I love
sounds
it.
great.
I love
me,
Minneapolis.
Sure. I'll go sit on a boat on a lake, but
I never liked, the last thing I ever wanted to do was be in the heat with drunk people.
Yeah.
No matter what age I was, that 1 and 2, I hate both. Not doing either of those
also,
things.
he's probably 25, isn't he?
He's what?
He's probably like 24, right?
He's like 79, so he's 23.
23 years old. Yeah, 23 in Miami and
I guess
and going to the NFL. Like, he's got all the hubris in the world.
Yeah, he's a Miami University fucking football star. So for him, everybody knows who he is.
Yeah.
I'm sure he doesn't pay for a drink.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine that. So apparently him and 3 others are accused of beating up a 29-year-old man named Anthony Sloan at a gas station.
It took 4 guys to beat
4
up
guys.
one dude. Oh,
yeah, well, especially when one of them is 7'6", 518 pounds. I mean, and you don't need any help, right?
Right.
I don't think.
It didn't allow a sack.
No sacks. No sacks. He didn't allow this guy to get to his car to fill it up with fucking unleaded either. So
he needs 3 friends to help him beat up a dude at a gas station.
The lawsuit alleges that McKinnie, without provocation, willfully and maliciously threatened, shouted obscenities at, assaulted, battered, and struck Sloan numerous times in the head and body.
Wow.
It also said that McKinnie advised and encouraged, which is hilarious. That sounds like something your parents do, advise and encourage. Advised and encouraged 3 other men, Xander Robinson, Lamar Sturdivant, and Terry Collins, to do the same. Sloan's attorney, Robert Eber, said his client and McKinnie were at Club Rolex with 2 X's, by the way.
There you go. Yep.
How douchey is that?
That sounds awful.
Wow. In Miami that night. And McKinnie later mistakenly identified Sloan for a man who robbed him outside the club.
Really?
He said, "Oh, you're that motherfucker that robbed me."
He was robbed outside and still went in, huh?
Apparently went back, still went in there. McKinnie was not charged by police, but the others with him were. Non-Miami football star, number 1 first-round draft picks. Those guys. That's hilarious, by the way.
Guys with nothing to lose.
4 guys give a beating, 3 get arrested, 1 gets told, you get out of here before any.
Get out of here. Head off to Minneapolis.
Wow, that is fucking amazing. So he's being sued now by the man, though.
I would too. Yeah, he's the guy
why
with
not?
the money.
Fuck it, yeah. His agent didn't say, wouldn't comment about it.
Yeah.
Apparently, Sloan claims to have sustained permanent injuries and disfigurement, suffered pain and mental anguish, and incurred medical expenses and lost wages. Sloan and his wife are seeking damages in excess of, and this is how you can tell, they're not trying to, they want $15,000.
He just wants to not have to pay a doctor bill.
That's realistic expenses. He didn't say, I need $3 million for my pain and suffering. He said, I got to pay my rent.
Feels like Sloan probably isn't the guy that quote-unquote robbed him.
I don't think he robbed him. Yeah, I doubt it.
I think it's a mistaken identity.
So November 2nd, 2002, the Vikings finally signed McKinnie to a deal. They draft this guy up high, and the season's going on, and they're still not. That's crazy, man. 98-day holdout. He agrees to a 5-year, $13.3 million contract. That includes a $9.35 million signing bonus, and that was the crux of it.
Okay, he
was to get that big bonus. Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean they can't take that from you unless you do something crazy, stop playing or some shit. So he is very excited. He said, "I'm elated with this contract. I know it's taken some time. I can't begin to tell you how excited I am to put on a Vikings uniform. I feel like my dream is about to begin."
That's pretty much the fucking dream, isn't it? To get
that's great.
$10 million of the 13 up front.
That'll make you feel some security, if nothing else. You know what I mean?
All you got is 3 years to play for them at $1 million a year, and you've got all this in the bank. You're doing great.
That's terrific here. So 2002, the Vikings are 6-10, which doesn't surprise me because their franchise wasn't doing wonderfully at that point if they wait till November to sign their first-round draft pick. So that's not good here. So obviously there's some problems in Minnesota. 2003 Vikings are 9-7. A little bit better, climbing back to respectability anyway here. Who was the quarterback for this fucking team? Dante Culpepper, that's right. Yeah. Dante Culpepper's gigantic ass.
In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this White Zinfandel.
Well, good. Now put it down. I'm going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles,
a big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud,
sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
With a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.
He was hip-hop's biggest mogul, the man who redefined fame, fortune, and the music industry.
The first male rapper to be honored on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, Sean Diddy Combs.
Diddy built an empire and lived a life most people only dream about.
Everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up.
But just as quickly as his empire rose, it came crashing down.
Today I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution.
I was up. I hit rock bottom, but I make no excuses. I'm disgusted. I'm so sorry.
Until you're wearing an orange jumpsuit, it's not real. Now it's real.
From his meteoric rise to his shocking fall from grace, from Law and Crime, this is the rise and fall of Diddy. Listen to the rise and fall of Diddy exclusively with Wondery Plus.
In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this White Zinfandel.
Well, good. Now put it down. I'm going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles,
a big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud,
sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
With a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.
Yeah.
Oh, only guy even close to as big as McKinney. Dante Culpepper.
That giant threat to do anything at all that did nothing.
That did nothing. He was real good for a minute there.
He had so much potential.
Yeah, he really did, but it just never all kind of gelled the way it needed to. But I mean, he could throw the ball a mile. He could run and knock people over. He was a bad motherfucker, man. So the only stats I have on McKinney from this year are he started all 16 games and played all 16 games. He had 2 holding penalties, 2 false start penalties. And 4 penalties all year for your left tackles.
That's great.
16 games is pretty goddamn good. That's amazing. Yeah. I see guys do that in a game sometimes. Mm-hmm. Well, when I watched it anyway, not now. 2004 Vikings here are 8-8. 8-8 is good enough to get them into the playoffs this year.
God, Jesus, how shitty were the
Packers,
the
NFC.
Lions, and fucking Bears?
Well, the Packers are in the playoffs because they play the Packers in a wild card game and win 31-17.
How about that?
So they're 8-8 and they're going to the divisional round where they lose to the Eagles 27-14. I think that's the year the Eagles went to the Super Bowl and lost to the Patriots, if I'm not mistaken.
2003?
2004.
Oh, maybe.
That would be 2005 would be the Super Bowl. I think that is what happened, but I'm not positive. They went somewhere around there. So this year.
Or did they lose to the Colts?
the next year, the Bears
the
beat
Colts
the Colts.
beat the Bears. Never mind.
Yeah, the Colts beat the Bears the next year. Yeah, there's that. So 2005 here, the Vikings are 9-7 again. No playoffs again for them. So pretty goddamn, just a kind of a mediocre team they've been this whole time. Then September 26th, 2005, 2 of their offensive linemen, the Vikings, Bryant McKinnie and a rookie, Marcus Johnson, are arrested in connection with a scuffle at a gas station again.
What's his deal with getting gas?
What the fuck? Have somebody else get your gas, please.
How infuriating is it for him to see that E coming up?
I mean, dude, he must be very fucking angry when he's below a quarter tank.
That light turns on and he's pissed.
Get the equipment guy to do it or something. He'll do it for you. Son of a bitch.
Wow.
That is amazing. He's held on suspicion of disorderly conduct and obstructing the legal process, according to jail documents. He was freed on $50 bail, which I feel like he has. Mike Tice, defending his players, said that once the story comes out, I don't think any of us will be disappointed. Let's just see how it plays out before we judge. Right. Hair turning silver before your eyes here. McKinney was not in the locker room and wouldn't talk to reporters. The arrest came after officers were called to clear out a large crowd from Bobby and Steve's Auto World near downtown.
Bobby and Steve's
Auto World. I guess it's a gas station. McKinney and Johnson enter innocent pleas on this.
Sure.
Here. That's how this goes. So we're waiting on the conclusion of that and the outcome of that. Then October 6th, 2005, it is Love Boat time.
Here we go.
Here is the party sex problem here. This is a sex boat, basically. NFL.
A boat that they fucking
used to fuck
chartered
on.
And then brought a bunch of strippers and hookers.
It's a mobile room 704 is what this is. On 704 on water. That was the name of the fucking boat.
Oh, boy.
Included here in this team activity, I guess you could call it, Dante Culpepper, Fred Smoot, Moeldy Moore, Pat Williams, Bryant McKinney, Nate Burleson, Ralph Brown, Jermaine Wiggins, Troy Williamson, Travis Taylor, Kevin Williams, Lance Johnstone, Mo Williams, and Willie Offord. I guess 2 houseboats were rented. This is how this worked.
They had 2?
They had 2. They're not fucking around.
Golly.
I guess some, but not all the players performed sexual acts in front of the crew members. That was the thing. Like, these people who worked on the boat had to watch this.
Yeah, because you rent the boat and somebody else drives it and serves hors d'oeuvres and shit.
Yeah, they're not giving fucking Fred Smoot the keys to a fucking houseboat and saying, go bring it back in one piece. You know what I'm saying?
Smoot, Culpepper, here, take these
take
keys.
These keys. Don't fuck around or drink or do anything stupid.
Go
though.
race these boats.
That's all it would be. I guess the sex workers were from Atlanta and Florida, were flown in for the party.
Is that right?
Yeah, they flew in prostitutes for this. That's the thing. This wasn't just let's rent some boats. Oh, I met some girls at the strip club and I invited them, and it turns out for $100 they'll do whatever. They said, let's get 2 boats, have a big party. We'll fly. I mean, they had to get plane tickets. Think about that. They had to fucking go and buy these women plane tickets.
I need to get your name, address, and phone number, please.
I need your legal name
tickets.
on the real, like your legal name, date of birth, and email address. I need it right now.
American Airlines has your itinerary, Cinnamon.
Holy shit. That's incredible.
He cleared out the Dollhouse and the Claremont for this shit.
And the Gold Club, too. He got it all. There were at least 90 people on the 2 boats.
180 people.
No.
Fucking.
90 people spread out through 2 boats.
Oh, okay. All right.
Not
so
90
45
each.
on each? That's not so bad.
Fred Smoot estimated more than that because he estimated there were 100 women present.
God.
We got 100 girls for, what, 12 players? Give me dude, how big is your ego? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Dick, Fred.
It doesn't matter how big your dick is.
If you can get them all on.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 players and 100 women.
And what were they celebrating? What was this for?
Celebrating being giant and fast and rich. That's what this was. October wasn't even the off season, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
This wasn't like, February, the season's over.
Is this the bye week?
Fuck, it's October. It has to be here.
Yeah.
So an anonymous former player of the Vikings claimed that this is not the first time this has happened either. This was a regular thing that they did. This is just the first time it came out. Photographs were taken at the party, allegedly, showing people engaging in sexual intercourse. We're going to have 4 misdemeanors come out of this. And this is also the main reason why Mike Tice, who got fired, and Brad Childress ended up coming in and kind of turning the team around here. I guess we'll start with this. A woman called police around 9:20 p.m.
From the
boat to report that approximately. Oh no, this isn't from the boat. This is the yard. Remember this? Oh. We started this out. We did the Patreon on this. Okay, we did it like years ago. No. Okay. To say 7 black men had urinated in her yard. Might I say gigantic men, too, also.
There were 7 huge dicks being drained in my yard.
One guy was 8'2", 611 pounds.
They piss like horses. There's
wild.
It's flooded.
All my grass is gone. It is. They flooded it all out. It's washed away. It's like when a hurricane came through. I had to put sandbags in front of my door. It's wild. It's great. That's how the piss flood was. She recalled to say 7 black men urinated in her yard after exiting a big shuttle bus limousine, according to the transcript. Yeah. Later mentioned that the men were sitting at Al and Alma's, which is the name of this charter cruise company that the Vikings players used. Yeah. An attorney for the charter company said some of the sex acts alleged by witnesses to have taken place during the party included masturbation, oral sex, anal sex, woman on man, woman on woman, toys, double penetration, middle of the floor, middle of couches, middle of the room, quote unquote.
So you're saying they got what they paid for?
They got, that's an expensive night is what you just described.
So what you're saying is they're not getting a refund.
That's funny. So the 911 caller said there was a big shuttle bus limousine that pulled up alongside my house, and there was like 7 black men who got out and stopped and peed all over my yard. The dispatcher said, "How many?"
Yeah.
That's a lot of black dicks in your yard. Yeah. She said there were like 6 or 7. There was a whole busload of them, but the bus driver stopped right alongside my house, and there were 6 or 7 black men that got out. Probably, I'd say 19, 18, 19, maybe even 20. I guess that got out, but those are the only ones that pissed.
Yeah.
I think those are the ones that pissed.
Okay.
They said they asked for a plate number, and they said the caller said they're sitting at Al and Alma's. They're right there. You don't need a fucking plate number.
Couldn't see the plate. It was blocked by all the dicks.
Too much. Too many dicks.
Yeah.
They said that they're trying to find the pictures in this investigation. One person said members of the entourage that were on both boats took enormously detailed photographs of a variety of sexual acts. That's how big their dicks are.
That? Why?
Even the details are enormous on these pictures. I don't know why.
Why do you need to photograph it,
I don't know.
Just remember. Fuck.
This is sexual menace to society is what this is. Who wants to watch the motherfucking tape?
Just live in the moment, you guys, especially in moments like this. Christ.
This is a great moment that you've paid a lot for. Live in it.
Put your fucking cameras away. God damn.
Jesus Christ. So the party was allegedly organized and paid for by Fred Smoot. And he's a rookie, by the way. And
what?
Fred Smoot and 10th-year player Lance Johnstone. They said that 8 crew members are considering all options, including legal law or civil lawsuits, but right now they're in shock.
They were just so big.
Jesus Christ. This is attorney Stephen Doyle. He said they got frightened. They got petrified. They couldn't believe people did this with these giant penises. Oh, my God.
The captain has PTSD. He can't even take a piss. Looks at his own dick and he balls up in a fetal position. Oh, my God, there's one right there.
Holy shit. Mwelde Moore, one of the Vikings who admitted he was there, said he didn't see any of this alleged behavior.
Where was I?
This is the greatest line of any show ever. Quote, "That's crazy. Sex? Come on." Yes, that's so crazy to think that football players would fuck 100 prostitutes on a boat that they paid for.
100 prostitutes to 15 men. Generously, 20.
Crazy.
That's 5 women to every man. You didn't see a single bit of sex, Mwelde?
Come on, that's crazy.
Come on, dude.
Jesus Christ. We know about room 704. Give me a break. Mike Tice said, "I am not happy about the allegations."
I'll bet.
Great. He said, however,
lose my job over this.
This is going to, I'm getting fired. This looks bad. However this plays out, these allegations, we will take steps necessary to deal with it. But again, these are allegations. Yeah. A sergeant with the Hennepin County Sheriff's Office said that from what we're hearing, it certainly sounds, because they're saying that they were asked, is there going to be like citations for prostitution, lewd behavior, solicitation, misdemeanors, things like that. And he said, from what we're hearing, it certainly sounds that way, but we want to get it right from the people that were there. We are trying to sort out all the facts to see if it even rises to a criminal act or whether it was just people who were offended. So whether it's more of a civil thing.
Oh, man. How
That's
fucking
wild.
Sweet is that?
Right?
What kind of world to live in?
That is crazy. The cleaning...
Just offended by dicks being sucked on our boat.
Jesus. Well, I mean, if that's at your job and you're not like if you work at a sex club, like a club that's like that room is where people fuck. Like, you know what you're getting. But if you just like clean a luxury houseboat, most of the time that's like, you know, some rich douchebag trying to find a write-off with his work pals, or
throwing a holiday party, whatever,
or it's a family or some shit. It's, you don't expect to see gigantic penises everywhere, and all of their dicks. The cleaning crew reportedly found used condoms, KY jelly, handy wipes, and wrappers for sex toys. And the one cleaner said it was just incredible how it was left. Never in the history of this group of people had they ever had anything like this.
That's the other part. It's like, if you're going to do that, you just leave all that behind?
No shit, man. That is absolutely gross.
I mean, I guess Fred probably heard we have a cleaning deposit and we clean the boat after. He was like, great.
Cool. Yeah, great.
We can just leave all this behind then.
Well, Fred Smoot was the alleged ringleader of this whole thing because he's one of the people who organized it. Smoot's agent dismissed those claims there. Smoot, though, didn't deny that he was on the boat that night. Well, you can't when your name's on the fucking rental form, stupid. When you're the guy who paid the deposit with your fucking Amex card, it's hard to say you weren't there. Smoot allegedly held a double-headed dildo and inserted it into the vaginas of 2 women who were lying on the floor in the lounge area. After one woman left, he continued to manipulate the dildo inside the other woman in front of the crew. Hey, guys, look what I'm doing.
Oh, boy.
Merritt Guyan, who worked at the docks, told a sheriff's detective that 3 men planned the charter boat cruises. The day before the party, Guyan told the detective that Smoot showed up with another man that she did not recognize. Lance Johnstone, here, that's another guy, he's the veteran. Merritt Guyan, the dock employee, told detectives that crew members showed Johnstone, Smoot, and an unidentified player around the boats, went over menus, and talked about specialty liquors. Smoot then signed a contract for the event and gave his address and phone number so he could be billed for it as well. Yeah. Johnstone put his credit card down for the $1,000 deposit and said the rest of the bill could be added to his card later. Mm-hmm. So those two cannot deny they were there at all because they're in paperwork.
Your card and your name and address are involved in this.
Oh, my God. So now Mwelde Moore will expand on that quote, too, because it comes from a bigger quote. He said nothing happened. They asked if he saw any strippers or sex, and he said, sex? What are you talking about? Is that what? Man, that's crazy. Sex? Come on. Look, man, I'm engaged, so none of that.
Don't tell my girlfriend.
He said, thing about that put me in trouble. Yeah, you're in trouble with a lot of people, including your fiance, and that is the most... worst denial I've ever heard.
Mwelde. What are you talking about?
Once again, sex? What are you talking about? Is that what? Man, that's crazy. Sex? Come on.
Is that what they're saying?
Look, man, I'm engaged, so none of that. If someone said that, you'd laugh your ass off in their face. That is amazing. Corin Robinson... here, by the way, claimed he was not on either boat and was upset about the Minneapolis Star-Tribune associating him with this incident, given his effort to rebuild his life after struggling with substances.
Okay.
Robinson said, I wasn't there, so as far as the whole situation, I just know I wasn't on the boat, and I don't want to get involved. I don't want my name to be brought up because of what I just went through and what I'm still going through. So for my name to be brought up like that is just crazy and upsetting because I don't want anyone looking at me because I had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, I wasn't there, and I'm
that's a denial.
That I didn't get an invite. Yeah,
I wasn't there. I had nothing to do with it. I don't want my name in it. Not
Yeah.
sex. Come on, man. That's just, come on. Really? No. Sex.
I've got
I'm engaged.
substance abuse problems, and that's why they didn't invite me. I'm really upset about it, but I'm more upset that I have a substance abuse problem.
Oh, yes. He sounds. That's a denial. I semi believe. Whereas Mwelde Moore, that's a hilarious denial. That's like the funniest denial ever. You say that with a big smirk on your face.
I don't live that life anymore. I've already done all that.
I'm good. Bryant McKinnie allegedly picked up a naked woman, placed her on the bar, and performed cunnilingus on her in front of the rest of the crew and other guests. I'm going to go down on a prostitute. Bryant, our guy. I'm going to go down on a prostitute.
Wow.
In front of the whole squad here. What? Why?
You don't go down on a prostitute, bro.
No, you absolutely don't go down on a prostitute.
Somebody's been in there already, man.
Oh, half the fucking team, apparently.
Yeah.
Not only that, they probably don't want you to. They were just like, get this over with as quickly as possible.
You're going to give me a yeast infection. Stop it.
Oh, my God. He, by the way, in a Reddit Ask Me Anything thread, Fred Smoot referred to this act as, and I remember this from the Patreon quote, running through the okra patch.
Yeah, that's right.
Running through the okra patch. That's what he was doing. Wow.
He calls eating pussy. Wow.
That's some southern shit right there.
Yeah.
Running on through the okra patch. I'd be like, where the fuck are you from?
What does that
Okra
even mean?
patch. Later that night, McKinney and 3 other men were spotted sitting in deck chairs receiving fellatio from 4 women, which was also observed by the crew in the public area of the boat. And
it's a pretty sweet day, isn't it?
Yeah, I would say McKinney, by the way, later on when this was all over with in 2018, he said, quote, everybody's had a little bump in the road. That was just a fun bump and a fun boat. A fun bump is what I would call that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And a fun
Sitting
boat.
In an Adirondack on the boat of a house or on the deck of a houseboat. That's pretty dope.
I don't want to get a blowjob with 3 of my friends. That's not.
Yeah, I don't want to sit side by side.
No,
that sounds
that's
awful.
not fun. That's a whole separate weird form of maleness that I'm not a part of.
Let's find a stateroom. What do you say?
Yeah, I've never wanted to have sex like with my friends, like as a group activity, ever. So, like, I never understood that corner of maleness. I never went into. I just never went into it. Let's get blown together.
The orgy where we don't touch each other nor use the same girl. Like, what's the point? Then you go find a room, I'll find a room. It's no big deal.
Yeah, we don't need to be hanging out. We've been hanging out all night. I think it's time to separate now.
I think it's time for us to get away from each other.
Ziggy Wilf also, in response to that's the owner, by the way, of the team.
Really?
He said lack of discipline will no longer be tolerated at any level. The events of the past week are unacceptable. If there was any sense that we would look the other way regarding this type of behavior, I want to make it extremely clear that this behavior will never be tolerated again. No blowjobs.
Never again.
On my watch here. Then he said a code of conduct is coming for the Vikings.
Oh.
He said that this is the owner. I expressed my anger and I expressed my embarrassment on behalf of my family and for the people who work hard here.
Okay.
That's right. He said that he wants to work with the team to levy appropriate fines, penalties, and/or suspensions.
Yeah.
And this will not be tolerated, buddy.
Okay.
I'll tell you that. The report says on October 19th, 2005, the owner delivered an intense profanity-laced address to the team Friday.
Yeah.
About your morals and everything. During the meeting, he threatened to remove players from the roster who were involved in the planning of the party. Yeah, that's crazy. I would say he said this, I guess, a former player told SI, this ain't the first time the Vikings players have been on Lake Minnetonka with some women. I went there several times with a few other guys and some strippers when all of us were single, but we would go on the boat one of the guys owned, so everything happened in private. Yeah, that's how you do it. If you're doing it in front of a fucking crew of people.
Right. People that don't do this.
And are just at work, that's different.
Right.
If you have your own boat and you take it out, you do whatever you want on it. No one cares. No one gives a shit.
That's the equivalent of going into a Best Buy, shopping for a TV with 100 hookers, and then fucking them on the TVs. Like, dude, people at Best Buy are going to be offended.
They're going to think it's weird.
Yeah.
So the same guy, another former Viking, said this shit's been going on every year, and every year it has escalated.
Yeah.
And also, Coach Mike Tice, quote, offered to fight any team member who wanted a piece of him.
He's that what?
Mike Tice said, I'll fight any one of you who wants a piece of him, who wants a piece of me. Let's go, motherfucker. Mike Tice was a former player. He's like 6'8" also. Mike Tice is a giant man, but I'm not fighting a fucking player in the prime of his career. What are you, crazy?
Fight me because I don't want you guys fucking hookers.
Who got a blowjob? Let's fight right now. I swear to God.
Let's go.
Smoot opens up about planning this later on here. Old Fred Smoot. And I guess they're talking about memories fading and all that. But on a 106.7 radio, The Fan here in 2013, Fred Smoot talked about it and, what happened. And he was asked, were they regular ladies or were they paid for ladies? Smoot said, what's the difference between regular and paid for? A big fucking difference. Gigantic. What?
Yeah. What's the difference?
What the I don't know. What are you talking about? All the difference in the world. Sex? Come on, man.
Fred's very understanding.
Wow. He then said you pay for them at some point when you take them on dates.
Okay, he's running that game. Yeah.
He's all women are his. He bought.
Wives
them.
are prostitutes too, because if they're stay-at-homes, you pay for their mortgage and you pay for their food.
Yeah.
Fred, stop.
And they
You're
take
being
care
ridiculous.
of your kids and they feed you and do all that kind of shit.
You're also the only person they fuck, Fred.
That's the other thing, Fred. Exactly. Were these
idiot?
Were these secretaries you had to talk into this and charm, or were these women that you could charm with money? Which one?
Are these women that you charm with saying, be here at this time for this amount of money?
Yeah. If women did this for free, I'm impressed with your game at that point. If you just paid for it, anybody could have this done in front of them. So the news guy, radio guy said, I'm just wondering, you stop me if I cross the line. And Fred Smoot said, let's use the word professional.
Okay. Yeah.
They fuck for fees, you know what I'm saying?
So are these regular women or professional women, Fred?
Women. Yeah. So the guy said, all right, so were they professional? Some Fred Smoot said. It was a lot of regular girls on there. Some guys brought their girlfriends. Okay. They'll get you fought with later on. They said, how many girls you figure on total on the boat? 20? And Smoot said, let's say 100.
Okay.
So the guy said, oh, damn, that's a ship, not a boat. And he said, so there's probably 100 chicks on the boat. How many players? And Smoot said, I don't want to disclose the number. Let's just say it was a team effort.
I don't want to say the number because then their wives maybe they start doing the process of elimination.
Yeah, it's. I don't know who. I can't remember who was married at the time. Let's just. They said, all right, okay. Let's just say you were on the boat. And Fred Smoot said, some people say they saw me. Yeah, like the person who took your fucking deposit and name and address and phone number and rented it to you, you dumb
like
fuck.
the guy that books this shit, Fred.
Jesus Christ, man. I guess the players here, this is summons filed alleged that Smoot, Culpepper, McKinney, and Mo Williams engaged in, quote, butt groping, sex toy usage, assorted oral favors, and topless lap dancing with women on the boat, according to the criminal complaint. 3 of the 4 players would be end up being convicted, except for Culpepper here.
Of what? Solicitation?
Misdemeanors, different things here.
Yeah.
Crew members, according to the complaint, said everything seemed relatively normal until the boat left the dock. Well, yeah, that's when it gets weird.
That's when we figure we're in international waters.
He said, yeah, so everything's good now. At which point, female passengers began, quote, going down to a lower restroom area and changing out of the clothes they had been wearing when they got on the boat. They were emerging either scantily clad or nearly naked.
Yeah, like a girl that just got dropped off at high school by her dad.
Yeah, she's going to change. All right, this
Take
is
off
better.
the overalls. Here we go.
They said, well, how come Smoot was pointed to as the ringleader? It's like, because he put his name on paper.
Right.
That's why.
Because he organized this shit.
Smoot said, you would have thought that I had been drafted a Viking, been leading the Vikings for the last 8 years to championships, because I totally got blamed for it, and that this is why.
Yeah.
He said they thought we was going to throw it in an undisclosed place and just rent the whole place and let nobody in. Well, that fell through, and so it was like we got to figure something else out. And it was the bye week, Fred Smoot says.
It was.
He said, yeah, so then they were like, all right, we sitting over there with a couple of guys trying to plan it out, and here come my big mouth. Well, how about we throw it on some yachts? They were like, well, all right, just call us and get it ready. And he said, you know, we wore, he said they said, so it wasn't a charity event? And he said, no, it was a charity event.
Charity there.
Yeah. He said it was a charity event, actually. Yeah, we wore our pink. It was for breast cancer. Yeah. Fred. He said, then I made the phone.
We were giving them buddy checks.
Then I made the phone call. This is what made me infamous. I make the call to the boating company, and they was like, yeah, no problem. Just leave us a credit card. And guess what I did? Left my credit card and my name.
Uh-huh.
But he said it was a party. It was like going to any other gentleman's club in the city. Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Some wild shit going on.
Yeah.
You didn't get to see dildo shows all the time?
I didn't get to participate in double side two gals. Jesus.
You and 3 of your friends weren't getting blown all at the same time?
No. And then double sided one too hard and she left, and then I just got one chick. never heard of it.
Never happened before.
Wow.
They said, well, how'd the story come out, though, that things were going crazy on the boat? And Smoot said, well, nothing went crazy. That's the whole thing about it. There's nobody else on the boat but us and the captain. And the guy said they had to have a crew. And Fred said, no, and I can say the 4 servers they had serving food and serving drinks. And the guy said, that's called a crew, but all right.
Yeah.
Because Fred said, no, they didn't have a crew. They just had a bunch of servers. That's who the crew is.
What do you
That's
think
the
crew is?
Anyone who works on the boat, that's crew.
There's nobody down in steerage throwing coal into the motor, Fred. It's a diesel motor. It's fine.
If they were, they'd be crew. It's all anyone on that fucking boat getting paid to be there is crew,
right.
Except for the prostitutes. They're not crew, I would say. So
they're certainly doing a job.
And the guy, so Smoot said, one of the crew told her boyfriend, and he didn't like it, and that's how it got out because he told her mom.
Ooh.
And the host said because she saw something, And Smoot said she didn't see anything. She just went home and bragged about, I was just on a boat full of Vikings players and women. And that's when the host said, and things got crazy. And Smoot said, no, they had a fun time. Smoot went a minute, was crazy. He said, it's just friends chilling amongst friends, enjoying themselves. And that's what it was, man. Like I tell people. Like that's not I'm friends with chilling with other friends, and we never have double-sided dildos and two prostitutes, and like it never happens.
What a party, man!
It's wild. So the host said, it was really overblown, and Smoot said it was overblown and overrated. I've been to more. We got a lot of
blowjobs.
We got a lot of blowjobs. He said, I've been to more funner places in Miami and California. I've been to places that really have fun. South America. You get 200 women fucking each other and fucking you and fucking everybody else.
How much more can be done?
I don't understand. From that party, it sounded like you've stretched the limits of partying.
Sounds like you've done it all, man.
So the guy said, it was probably a Minnesota thing. And Smoot said it was in Minnesota. You know, cities like New York, D.C., Miami, Atlanta, this type of stuff happens every day. So, he said that they didn't... Smoot said he didn't realize that they had legal troubles until the next week when they pulled into the parking lot and street was lined with television trucks.
Uh-huh.
So they end up resolving their legal issues here very quickly. October 26, 2005. They charges are disorderly conduct and obstructing the legal process. That is, Bryant McKinnie and Marcus Johnson had those charges dropped. Kevin Williams. Oh, this is all of their different. That's his charges from earlier. Okay, yeah. That's how that goes. So they're trying to figure out, though, this love boat thing here. Yeah. Now, there is a fluff piece on him the next week saying that he fulfills expectations.
Sounds like it.
He fulfills a lot of things.
For Christ's sake,
I was going to say he's fulfilling quite a bit here. They said he delivered the kind of play Minnesota expected after drafting him so high. So, they're just a fluff piece saying how great of an offensive lineman he is and all that shit. But he's also got a lot of fucking problems.
Yeah.
As we know
cold
about.
Sores now.
And more problems than you know of. So, 2005 season, that season, he only has 2 penalties. Okay. No holding penalties.
Is that 2005.
Right? 0. 16 games started. Goose egg on holding penalties. 2 false starts. And 1 offside.
He plays so clean.
That's amazing. Wow.
Yeah.
2006, May 26th, he pleads guilty to disorderly conduct and being a public nuisance on a watercraft in connection with the boat scandal.
Yeah, that's a nuisance, all right.
That's a nuisance. He pays a $1,000 fine and performs 48 hours of community service. Okay. And the Vikings owner also said in addition to that community service, he's going to participate in numerous service events as well for the team.
I think he's done enough service.
I think there's plenty of serving. Yeah. He's served many people. McKinney said, I want to be an example of everything that's good about the Vikings and the state of Minnesota.
Okay.
Fred Smoot also said, by the way, this is what he said at the time, which is hilarious knowing what he said in 2013, that last interview. Yeah. He said, I used poor judgment and take responsibility for my actions. I've learned a valuable lesson. I regret tarnishing the reputation of the Minnesota Vikings and the National Football League.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. 2006 Vikings, 6-10 again. So going backwards, not doing great here. The old Vike dogs here. Tavarius Jackson back as a quarterback. Yeah. This is Brad Johnson starting 14 games this year. So the Culpepper experiment has come to an end.
Sure has.
September 9th, 2006, the NFL announces it's fining McKinney and Fred Smoot 1 game check each for the boat incident.
Okay. Well,
so Bryant McKinnie, it'll cost him about $41,000 to go on that boat.
He gets paid nothing to play.
Wow.
He's already been paid.
He paid $41,000 to go down on a prostitute.
That's crazy.
That's the most expensive.
It's the most expensive head anybody's ever given.
Wow. And given, yes, given. For sure. A day after the fine was levied, the Vikings raised his pay and extended his contract for 7 years with a contract worth $48 million.
Whoa.
They go, well, this will make you feel better. Yep, $48.5 million, $17 million in guaranteed money.
That's fantastic.
That is, wow, that's a lot, man.
That's marvelous, man. He
a goddamn.
It's a lot of head he gets to give.
Fucking so much, man. So much. September 2006, FHM magazine.
Yeah.
McKinney is one of 5 University of Miami alumni prominently featured in an article titled University of Miami Hit Squad. The Hurricanes are taking over the NFL. Deal with it.
Okay.
So McKinney said, if you put together a team made up of guys playing in the NFL who come from the University of Miami, we'd be playing in the Super Bowl this season, and I think we'd win.
Is that magazine gone already?
I would hope so.
God,
by the way, who would your fucking quarterback be?
Yeah.
Because I don't remember any.
Javarius Jackson?
That's what I'm saying. Who would your Miami Ken Dorsey? He's not going to fucking win shit in the NFL. So you guys, there's never. How many good quarterbacks have come from any of the fucking colleges in Florida, for that matter?
No.
Any? No. Florida State had a Heisman-winning quarterback, and he played for the Knicks for fucking 10 years. Danny Werfel from Florida. I mean, Danny Cannell from, I can name a million of these guys. I'm sure there's one or two. Vinny Testaverde was a decent quarterback in 1985 or 6 or whatever the fuck for Miami coming to the NFL.
He played, but he never won anything.
I mean, fucking Jim Kelly played down there. Yeah. But I mean, this is 1982 for Christ's sake.
It's been a while, yeah.
When's the last time?
Yeah.
It's at Tim Tebow. It's, I mean, you have terrible. They do not recruit quarterbacks well down there. I'm sure I'm missing somebody, but I mean, Jameis Winston. I mean, we can keep going. We can keep fucking going. We can go on forever. The list is
coming. Jesus,
the list is long, man.
He's a mess.
So anyway, all 6. He hasn't since his rookie year when he signed in the middle of the year. He has not started a game. He started every single game he's been eligible to start. So pretty good. Only 4 penalties that year. Also. Or 4 holding penalties that year. So he stepped it up a little bit.
Yeah.
It's just 2007 Vikings are 8-8. Jesus, they are a mess for years.
Yeah, it's only recently been getting good for them. It's very
man.
recent. It's been, God, Jesus, the poor Viking hopefuls, man. Those fans have been abused for years. Since '99, man, they've just been getting their ass kicked, and it's really pathetic. They got a brand new stadium, and it's a beautiful place. It's a great city, great people, and that team just fucks them and fucks them and treats them like
fucks them over.
Treats them like Love Boat patrons. They just fuck them constantly.
Blow us on the deck. Well, it's like this is all you have.
Yeah.
You have us. You have the Twins.
Yeah.
I mean, you have the Timberwolves.
Is it the Wild?
I think the Wild, up there. Yeah. I mean, you have sports, and then it's all winter when it's freezing cold.
Yeah.
And you're in your goddamn houses. This is the only thing you have. So they talk about, by the way, Sean Taylor gets killed around now. He also went to Miami, so that's a big deal for all the Miami guys, and McKinney makes a statement about it and everything like that. Yeah, we'll have to do a bonus episode on that at some point.
That was really fucking sad.
McKinney said, what can we do to try to prevent that? I mean, who would ever think somebody would come break in your house, something like that? He had an alarm system from what I was told. I don't know what other precautions you can really take to protect yourself. What do you do? Carry a bazooka around your house and wait for people to attack you?
Yeah, somebody should ask him how he feels about what they're doing now. Just wait until you're out on the road and then they just break into your house. They got 6 different professional athletes now. They just got somebody yesterday.
Oh yeah, it happens all the time now.
Damn.
They have fucking pretty goddamn expensive collections of things usually.
They got a lot of shit.
So February 24, 2008, McKinney is going to be arrested here. He is arrested for aggravated battery after a street brawl outside a nightclub.
Oh, nightclub.
Also charged with disorderly conduct and resisting arrest without violence here. Mm-hmm. The authorities were called to Club Space after a fight broke out. This is in Miami, of course, obviously. McKinney had been thrown out by a nightclub security guard who was arguing and spit on this guard.
God damn it.
So apparently this guy said he wouldn't press charges if McKinney left.
Okay.
That's what he said. He goes, you get the fuck out of here and we'll call it a day, all right?
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with this shit.
Yeah, you're very big.
You're very big and you're very famous around here, too. Yeah. So I don't want people, because people would be harassing me then.
Sure.
So the authorities then said that McKinnie then went to a nearby strip club, but then returned to club space to fight with the bouncer again.
He stewed about it while staring at titties.
He saw
mad.
That's what I mean. He saw tits and vaginas and asses and didn't fucking get in a better mood.
Unbelievable.
At that point, you need to go cold turkey with no tits for like 6 months to bring back the joy. It should bring you joy.
That's a guy that goes down on hookers, and it didn't cheer him up even a little bit.
Not even a little bit.
Wow.
Apparently, police found McKinnie in the middle of a large crowd throwing punches and yelling obscenities.
He was in the midst of it.
In the middle of it, it was that. Then McKinnie then allegedly shoved his phone in the bouncer's face before picking up a heavy pole and hitting him.
Oh,
you're gigantic. You're 9'3", 714 pounds. You don't need a pole. This isn't crazy.
You got a wingspan of the space station.
What the hell? The wingspan of the continental United States. You got to hit this guy with a pole?
Wow.
What are we talking about? Police told McKinnie to stop.
Mm-hmm.
He wouldn't.
He didn't even, the cops couldn't affect him.
They said stop, and he just walked away and got on a bus.
He got on the bus?
He got on a bus to try to escape the situation.
What is this place?
But the cops told the bus driver not to drive away and to fucking stay there.
We need that man. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. He was arrested and bonded out for $9,000 here. And this is in Miami, obviously. Yeah. He's got some problems.
Was it because he was waiting on another bus to strap to his feet because he's 37 feet tall and
that's what it
4,000 pounds?
He tried to get on the bus, but he couldn't fit through the door. So they said, never mind. He was too tall and wide to get through the door.
He literally got on top of the bus and laid down.
Said, go, motherfucker, go. The Vikings released a statement saying, we are aware of the situation with Bryant McKinnie. We will respond further once we've collected appropriate information. That's what that says. They said it's unclear what caused the brawl. Well, we know what caused it. It was he wasn't happy about being thrown out of the strip club.
And titties couldn't calm him down.
No, and he pleads not guilty to this, by the way.
Wow.
To these charges.
There's witnesses, man.
A ton of them. The police report said officers found him in the middle of a large crowd throwing punches and yelling obscenities.
Yeah, there's witnesses that are police.
They showed up and wrote that shit down.
Yeah.
He's a problem, this guy.
I don't know what happened, but it's set off now.
He is like the University of Miami in a person. He personifies a whole university. This is
he was fine before he went there. Did Miami do this to him?
It has to be. Yes.
Wow.
Dude, it makes you a scumbag. Watch both of the U's and then listen to that fucking song.
Yeah.
You go, fuck Miami. That place is horrible.
He was a gentleman before he came here.
God damn it. So, yeah, imagine this guy. The next night, he's out of jail. He's still walking around strip clubs. Bouncer makes him angry again. He leaves. He goes to another strip club. And then he goes in another place that he thinks is a strip club. But instead, who's standing there? It's the Shawarma Man. That's who's there. And he says, how is it you've come to arrive here? Why are you here? I have no women on counter to give cunnilingus to, however you say. I don't know. I read paper.
Shawarma. That's why I'm here.
You get whole shawarma, one in one and one another. You go back and forth. I said, no, you don't do that. You ruin the meat. Although maybe marinade, nice. I don't know. It could be better. Possible. But no, you go now. I no make for you. I'm sorry. I cannot do. Sign say closed. You go now. I'm very afraid. My wife, daughter, everyone here. You have sex with them. You beat me up. I don't want to happen. So you go now. And then poof, in a cloud of tzatziki and meats and juices, he's gone.
Wrapped rice. I don't know.
And Bryant McKinnie is left holding a giant skewer of shawarma, looking for something to stick it in, and he has nothing. So May 22nd, 2008, he rejoins the Vikings and hopes to not get in trouble, basically.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
He's got a shitload of money.
He does. Well, he declined to discuss the legal situation, but said the last 3 months have been a, quote, learning experience for him. Yeah, he learned a lot, I'm sure. It's the same shit that keeps happening. You're not learning anything from this.
He's just fighting. He's so mad.
It's fucking stupid. So the 2008 Vikings are 10-6, and they lose the wild card round to the Eagles, 26-14. And oh my God, they got Gus Frerotte. Gus Frerotte started 11.
Is that right?
Gus Frerotte. I didn't even know he was still in the league in 2008. Gus Frerotte. I thought he was long gone.
From Denver?
From Washington back in the day and Denver. And I mean, Jesus, he's been around forever being mediocre.
Golly.
Holy shit. You're not going to win if that's your fucking starts 11 games on your team. So he is going on August 30th, 2008. He is going to be suspended for 4 games.
Over the fight?
For violating the league's personal conduct policy here. He had pleaded not guilty to all this shit, but he's had several incidents, and so he's finally going to get suspended 4 games, which is going to cost him some dough.
You bet. Yeah, that's a lot.
Going to cost him some money. September 2nd, 2008 is an article in the paper. The headline is Blocking Out Reason.
Okay.
Which is fucking funny here.
And
they
logic,
said, and logic and everything else here. They said McKinnie's most recent transgression, a brawl outside a Miami nightclub in February that led him to facing 4 charges, caused NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell to suspend him Friday for the first 4 games of the regular season. It marked the 4th time McKinnie's been in trouble with the law since the Vikings selected him in the first round in 2002. None of these are like giant big things, but they're all just indicative of a guy who
with character.
It's the crime in sports athlete.
Yeah, it's compounding. Yep.
I'm huge. I'm important. I'm famous. I'm rich. I'll do whatever I want.
Yeah. And he has no ties to Miami except for going to college there. Why would you go back there? Why would you go there?
Because that's where everybody kisses his dick. That's how Miami is. So
Minnesota has bigger stars because nobody knows McKinnie's name in Minnesota except for like super diehard fans.
That's it. But he's a national champion in Miami.
Right. Yeah.
So that is interesting stuff here. So McKinnie, they said if McKinnie's going to change his ways, he must start now. The conditions of the NFL suspension, which the Vikings appealed but failed to get reduced, include no contact with the team except to arrange off-site medical treatment. This means McKinnie could theoretically return to the Miami area during his mandated absence. Perfect.
Oh my God.
But if McKinnie has learned anything, he will spend his time near the Vikings facility in Eden Prairie, working out and staying away from anything that resembles a nightclub. Yeah, because in Eden Prairie, I can't assume the nightclubs are quite the same. So he only starts 12 games that year, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Only has 2 penalties, all 12 games.
That's good.
Now they say March 13th, 2009, he can avoid charges if he complies with the court's shit here. They said that the fight charges against him will be dropped if he completes community service and counseling and doesn't get arrested again. 25 hours of community service and participate in at least 6 counseling sessions. He had faced charges of felony aggravated battery before. So he's faced all of these charges, and so that's a pretty light felony aggravated battery to just say you're sorry and go to a fucking...
I'd love to know what counseling they're sending him to. Alcohol counseling? What kind of counseling?
Anger management, probably.
I suppose that, yeah.
I don't know if he needs it, but that's what they keep saying how chill he is, so I don't know.
How big of a guy he is. Those cold sores must be enormous.
Oh, they're big.
Big
They're
as your fucking head.
The size of a nickel. Cold sores the size of dinner plates. The man's got. You should see his herpy his syphilitic fucking
the blisters on his
chancres. They're fucking wow. They are big. They're big. You could host a barbecue on top of one of them. Big.
Golly.
So 2009, Minnesota is 12-4 this year. Somehow they pull that out of their ass.
Who's their quarterback now?
We'll find out in a second. Their quarterback is
not Frerotte.
Find him. Brett Favre.
That's right.
It's the Favre year.
Yeah.
But they beat the Dallas Cowboys in the divisional round, as everyone beats the Cowboys in the playoffs because they haven't been to the Super Bowl in almost 30 years.
Since 91.
95. They beat the Steelers. That was it. 95 season. They beat the shit out of the Cowboys, too. 34-3, a trouncing. And then lose to the Saints 31-28, and the Saints ended up beating the Colts that year, winning the Super Bowl. So they like to lose to the eventual winner anyway.
Yeah, that's not bad.
So that's good. Yeah, Brett Favre, the quarterback there. 2009 here, there's an article, did McKinnie accidentally help Cardinals?
Oh?
They said, why did the Arizona defense have the upper hand against the Vikings? Dan Patrick passed along this information on his show regarding the Arizona game. Patrick mentioned that former NFL left tackle Tony Baselli was working the sidelines for a Westwood One radio broadcast, and Baselli had some interesting information he relayed during the game. Quote, Baselli points out that left tackle Bryant McKinnie of the Vikings, he said the Cardinals know when they're going to pass because of his leg. He would have one of his legs back a little bit further. He said they know what's going to happen because they're looking at his feet and they can tell when it's a run and when it's a pass. That's a
He's
big deal.
accidentally giving it away.
Those little tells are a big deal for offensive linemen because sometimes they'll start going back a little bit too quickly, so you know it's a pass then. Because their pass coverage is back instead of forward. So those guys have to be statues every time. They have to have the exact same, no matter what it is. They can't sell. They can't cheat off to the side a little bit.
He's just giving it away, and he doesn't even know it.
Giving it away, and he doesn't know it. It's just a little tell that happens a lot. Only 4 penalties that year.
Okay.
January 30th, 2010, he's dismissed from the Pro Bowl team for unexcused absences.
Oh.
Apparently, the NFL said that McKinnie missed practice on Friday and Saturday and is subject to a fine.
Sounds like somebody's just enjoying Hawaii.
Yeah, he doesn't give a fuck. He's like, Hawaii, this is like Miami, but even hornier.
He's a little bit dirtier, yeah.
I'm surprised they let him on the island. He's too big. Takes up too much space.
Island,
yeah, that's what I mean. Said, I'm extremely honored to have been selected for this year's Pro Bowl. However, my ongoing injuries in my feet and left ankle that I've encountered during the last portion of the season has hindered me in this week's training and preparing myself both mentally and physically for Sunday's Pro Bowl game. I'm very knowledgeable and appreciative to all my loyal fans and supporters and would like to apologize if I may have disappointed any of them. Well, he gets dropped from the roster anyway, so that happens a lot. February, I guess he'd been ordered to reimburse the NFL $4,285 for expenses in Miami that week.
Oh, because they pay for his hotel.
Yeah, hotels, and meals. He also forfeited his $22,500 game check.
Bonus,
He claimed he planned on skipping the Pro Bowl and simply failed to communicate properly. He said he was injured. So he's like, I just didn't tell him enough. I just figured I'd go down there and stay in the hotel room they got me for a while. And
just going to go sit on the beach and enjoy myself.
Fuck.
And $20,000.
And $22,000. 2010 Vikings 6-10 again.
Back to
Favre
it.
is gone. Back to it. Oh no, Favre is still there. He started 13 games that year, but he's 67 years old. So
and throwing picks.
Didn't work well. Yeah, he threw a lot of picks. Let's find out what he did that year. It doesn't matter. He did plenty. He sucked that year.
Yeah.
So Bryant, by the way, he's only been a Pro Bowler once.
Just one time, huh?
Which is so weird.
No penalties on this guy.
It's so strange. He must not be a dominant force, is all I can think.
Obviously not, yeah.
They're giving him money like he's a dominant force.
Yeah.
He starts every game. He has never not started a game he's been eligible to play in. Ever. He's 16 games every season except when he was suspended for 4, and that was 12.
What is that, you think?
Real fucking weird. I don't get it. August 2nd, 2011, he is cut by the Vikings.
Oh, no.
Yep, they said the staff was none too pleased with the shape that he arrived to camp in. It was
he let it go.
Fat, out of shape fuck.
Yeah.
They said he was just a complete disaster, and he was out of shape, and they said that they wanted him to take a pay cut, but he refused.
Mm-hmm.
So they said, all right, then fuck off. You make too much money, and that's what they can do in the NFL. That's why these guys hold out, though, for bonuses, because the other side does not have to abide by their contract.
Right.
You could stop that real fast if you just had guaranteed contracts, because you don't see in baseball guys, I want $50 million up front, because they know they're going to get their money.
Yeah.
Same thing in basketball. They know they're going to get their money, whether they get hurt or not. So they said he's been extremely durable, obviously, but he's no good, too fat. So on August, he doesn't seem to matter to me. Yeah, on August 24, 2011, he signs with the Ravens.
Okay.
So the Ravens sign him to a 2-year contract with a maximum value of $7.5 million, including a $1 million signing bonus.
Okay.
And that is contingent on him passing a physical as well. They said the Vikings cut him when he showed up to camp weighing close to 400 pounds.
You'd think that would be great
Too
for
fat.
an offensive lineman, but if he can't move and he's
gotta
got
be
bad
able-
knees
yeah.
and bad ankles, it's not going to
At
go
that
well.
age, it's not going to be good. You got to have lateral movement and all that kind of shit, too. Fucking, that is crazy. By the way, my favorite thing in the world, speaking of lateral movement, is Kevin Garnett talking about Hakeem Olajuwon shit-talking.
Uh-huh.
When he says, number one, Hakeem Olajuwon will dunk on you and go, "I'm a man," and run away. And Garnett's like, how do you respond to that?
What do you say? Yeah.
"I'm a man," and like that African accent.
It's true.
He said at one point, he said he made a move and he says, "You can't handle my lateral quickness." And he goes, "What the fuck do you say to that shit?" He goes, "How do you respond to that?"
Lateral quickness.
Fuck you, your mama? He's like, "What the fuck do you say? You can't fucking respond to my lateral quickness." He's like, "What the fuck?"
Sure.
So anytime I hear the word lateral, I think about that. So anyway, he's coming on to the Ravens. They're talking about he's fat and he's got a lot of baggage also that he's dragging behind him with all his legal problems and everything. Ray Lewis said, quote, "Some people look for speed, some people look for youth, but give me heart and wisdom and the will to play the game and win, and I'll take that player on my side any day of the week." And that's what Bryant has. I've played against him, and I know from experience how tough he is. He has a proven track record as a winner, and he's a Raven. He's one of us, and I know he'll make us better.
Oh, boy.
That's it. Yeah, that's wow. Okay, so he's not going to make that much money, but 2011, the Ravens are 12-4. He might win.
They're good, yeah.
So they win in the divisional round against Houston 20-13, then lose to the Patriots in a heartbreaker 23-20. As those were a lot of close games.
Terry puts one through the uprights with 1
That's
second
it.
to go.
With 1 second to go, and they walk away, and just like the NFL planned it.
Yeah.
So
just like it said in the book.
Just like it said. So that's the other thing. There's so much about the NFL. It sucks. He played in 16 games, all 16, starts all 16 again this year. So he's real reliable and durable. I'll say that much. 5 total penalties, only 1 holding penalty. Then, April 2nd, 2012, Bryant McKinnie owes $4.3 million after taking a lockout loan.
What?
He's been ordered to pay $4.3 million to a company that gave him a loan before the lockout the year before. That is Pro Player Funding, a company that specialized in lockout loans, obtains a judgment against McKinnie, ordering him to pay all $4.3 million. He got a loan for $4 million just before the lockout began, and he's been ordered to pay it back in full, plus fees and interest.
How much has he financed that he was so worried that he needed $4 million?
That's what I mean. He made
you
so
have
much money.
so much money, dude.
He was given $37 million up front like less than 5 years ago.
How do you need four more?
A check for $37-something million.
Man, I've got this thing inside me that is terrified to be homeless again. I wish he had.
He doesn't, apparently.
No.
He does not have that again.
Wow.
The loan and high interest rate and a clause that allowed Pro Player Funding to call the entire amount due if McKinnie missed one payment. Once the lockout ended, McKinnie planned to have his paychecks go directly from the Vikings to Pro Player Funding, but he missed a payment when the Vikings cut him in training camp. So then they were allowed to call the whole loan in.
Wow.
So, yeah, that's... Wow. They
and it's
go
a
on
high
to,
interest loan, too, because they take advantage of
like
these
a payday.
motherfuckers. These people are idiots.
He said any player who took a lockout loan is in serious need of financial counseling. The lockout didn't cancel any games, and therefore the lockout didn't cost any players any game checks.
Right.
So
you didn't even need the money.
They said a player whose financial situation is so precarious that the mere possibility of losing a paycheck had him scrambling to find a loan has made horrible decisions with his money.
Honest to fuck, man.
A player like McKinnie, who's made tens of millions of dollars in his 9 years with the Vikings, should have had enough money socked away that he's never has to take out a loan for the rest of his fucking life or anything.
No shit.
I would say so. McKinnie, September 4th, 2012, agrees to a restructured deal with the Ravens.
Oh, they see
after contract negotiations. Anyway, they said that he'll still be in purple and black. John Harbaugh said he never left us. I'm excited about Bryant. I always have been.
Yeah.
McKinnie tweeted that morning that he was gone from Baltimore. And then a couple hours later, he's like, never mind, signed a new deal.
Everything's fine.
Wow. He, according to the Baltimore Sun, McKinnie was set to make a $3.2 million base salary, and the Ravens asked him to take a 50% pay cut. that was too much for him. They reportedly settled on a $2.2 million contract, so a third, basically.
A big cut, Jesus.
McKinney's only 32, by the way, and he said that renegotiating, he said, quote, "It was a weird conversation. There was nothing that was actually said that they didn't believe, that actually was said that they didn't believe I was a high-caliber player."
No, they just said you're not worth the money we're paying you.
Yeah, we need the money somewhere else.
Yeah.
He said we had to come to an agreement where it couldn't have been like, come on now, I'm playing left tackle. That's a hard position as it is. You can't pay, your left tackle can't pay your lowest paid guy. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So McKinney indicated the Ravens expressed doubt in the recent meeting. He said the thing they said was, "Oh, I'm not sure you're in our top 5 offensive linemen or not." He said, all of a sudden, I don't know where this came from either. I was just thrown off by the whole thing. He said it was his assumption he'd be starting at left tackle. And he said, I think the assumption everybody had when I was in the 3rd preseason game until I was called into the office that I'd be starting those games.
Yeah, but haven't you seen The Blind Side? We're about to draft Michael Orr.
That's happening very soon. He said, just like I told Bryant, this is Harbaugh. I've got a lot of respect for him as a football player. I love his style of play. We're going to be strong up front. We're going to have a strong offensive line, and that's a big part of it. So, he said Harbaugh said he doesn't expect today's whirlwind to distract from the team, and everything will be fine. So anyway, 2012, 10-6 the Ravens are.
Okay.
They beat the Colts 24-9 in the wild card round. Then they beat the Broncos 38-35 in the divisional championship. The AFC championship game, they beat the Patriots 28-13.
Yep.
And then beat the 49ers in the Super Bowl 34-31.
They had to turn the lights out to do it.
That's the game where the lights went out in the middle of a San Francisco comeback. And, that's fucked up. So, anyway, that was, again. Why don't you watch the NFL? Gee, I don't know.
They gave the Ravens a break and let them catch their breath.
Yeah, I could give you 7 million reasons. But I really feel like at this point, like, if you watch the NFL, it's not because you like football. There's no football being played. So it's not because you like football.
Yeah.
It's because you have a fantasy team or you are a gambler.
Or you got a wager on it and your kids need braces.
That's it. You're a gambler. You have a fantasy team. There's an office pool. There is some form of gambling you're doing, and that's what keeps you watching it.
Or no one just Taylor Swift. One way or another, you're watching it for a reason
this
that's
game
not
is
football.
and no one goes, this game is so entertaining right now. It's just great. Once in a while a game will be, but most of them are terrible, and they're probably fucking not even on the level. So fuck this sport. Anyway.
It seems like they're really trying to create storylines, too, because this Penix kid, I really like him, man. He plays for Atlanta. He's another
They made sure you liked him. That's what I mean.
Yeah,
they made sure you like him.
And they gave,
to be marketed, too.
The kid first start, and he looked amazing. And clutch plays, shockingly. Because it's in the script, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. 2012, I don't want to sound crazy, but it's just so much happens where I'm like, I just don't buy this anymore.
Yeah. Ever since you've said when there's that much money involved, it can never be on the up and up.
There's
just
billions
makes all the
and
sense.
billions and billions at stake. You think they're going to leave that up to a bunch of 25-year-old black guys? No.
Right.
They're not. I'm sorry. They're not. Old bunch of fucking rich people.
Jerry Jones is not leaving that up to a bunch of black guys.
It's just not. He's not. A bunch of children? No.
Yeah.
So he doesn't start any games this year. All 16 games he's in, but he doesn't start any games for Baltimore this year. May 2nd, 2013, they say they're going to keep him, though.
Okay.
He said he was looked at other teams as a free agent, but he agreed to a 2-year deal to stay put, maximum of $7 million, including a little signing bonus and clauses for workouts and all that bullshit here. So he's going to come back again. Okay. They sign him 2013, starts on the Colts, or the Colts on the Ravens here. Then he is traded to the Dolphins.
Okay.
In October of 2013. He's traded for Eugene Monroe.
Whoever the fuck that is,
Harbaugh said, it's a good move for us. I think it's a good move for Bryant. I'm happy for Bryant. I think it's a good opportunity for him more than anything. That's the most important thing. An opportunity for Bryant to go down there and play and do well. Yeah. He plays well in Florida, but he's also going to get arrested all there if you keep him in Miami all the fucking time.
It's not a good move for him at all.
never go home. And I know this isn't home, but it's his home.
Why would they send him to Miami?
Fuck. Miami 2013, 8-8 Miami. Not exactly Super Bowl champions, obviously. They're kind of shitty. Yeah. He was signed to take over immediately as a left tackle. They had problems with pass protection all fucking season up until that point. Yeah, they said he played. Yeah. McKinnie ended the year as one of the worst offensive tackles in the league as ranked by Pro Football Focus.
Oh, my God.
Can't do shit anymore.
It's a part, dude. It's not even falling apart. It's a part.
He's also 34 and a gigantic. He's 34 and he's 10'6", 847 pounds. So what are we supposed to do with that?
The worst knees and ankles in football.
You would if you were that big. Jesus, I'd be. Who would you do if you were that big? So anyway, that's him. His career is over at this point. No real stats to get into.
No, thank God.
He has 13 holding penalties in his entire career. That's a fun stat.
Yeah. The one that we need to know is how much money is left, because that's the real stat.
Apparently not much. March 19th, 2014, the Dolphins show no interest in McKinnie. Mm-hmm. And, he said that, quote, I've done it in practice a few times. It shouldn't be too much of a transition because they're talking about he might have to move to the right side and not play left tackle anymore. And he said, I can do it. I played it in practice. And
capable, but no.
I'm capable, but they said nope. Now, May 20th, 2014, he has to pay $150,000 in a strip club lawsuit.
What?
Okay. 2 years ago, Bryant McKinnie was sued by a Miami strip club owner who claimed that McKinnie owed him $375,000 in tabs for drinks and lap dances.
He put it on a tab?
On a tab. How much is that's so many drinks and
at $20 a dance on the high end, right?
Right,
that
and a drink for even in Miami, but $15 drink. Let's say a $20 drink. That's still insane.
$325,000.
$375,000.
It's almost $400,000.
You could buy a house for that. This guy fucking did that.
Shit.
He said he called it a bogus story.
Yeah.
But apparently he now agrees to pay club owner Charles Young $150,000. The website calculates that figure would pay for about 4,000 lap dances.
Yeah.
Yes.
4,000 She's My Cherry Pies. How long is that
over
song?
Over and over.
That's 12,000 minutes minimum.
At least.
Oh, my God.
McKinnie said in 2012, earlier in an interview before he has agreed to pay it, he said, quote, I would never pay Young because what he's saying isn't true. I just found out about when people started texting me. This is the least of my worries. Yeah, because this was at the time when they wanted $4.5 million out of him for that shit. Also, blacksportsonline.com posted that court documents, Black Sports Online, that agreement with Young was reached on May 17th and that McKinnie had already paid the strip club owner $37,000 of it. So, they said, so where is McKinnie getting the other $113,000? That's not clear. He's currently a free agent.
Okay.
Now, July 6, 2014, Bryant McKinnie has his car repossessed to pay legal bills.
How in the fuck broke is this guy?
He blew $50 million.
How do you do that?
That is wild. So, save some. Wow. I guess he's had a lot of problems. Apparently he had his car repossessed and auctioned to pay his legal bill. He apparently stiffed his Florida lawyers of about, $21,354.69.
Okay.
The court found in favor of the lawyers, and McKinnie had no cash to pay the bill.
That's unbelievable. Unfucking believable.
So they ordered that McKinnie's 2012 Infiniti QX56 be taken away and auctioned to cover it. And yes, so he's also being sued in Florida for the strip club deal and everything else. So it's not, it is not great. Man. No, that is fucking wild. He has a Super Bowl ring. Who knows if he's going to fucking...
It's gone. He's hot for that.
That's got to be gone. God damn it. All the dumb shit he's done, I don't know if it's bad or just feel bad because they're not too smart.
Feel bad
that
for
they
all the
blew
bill
that.
collectors.
Yeah, I hope that he fucking gave his mom some money at least
Yeah.
that she could put in the bank or some shit. I mean, I almost feel
imagine.
bad for him. I feel bad for a lot of other people in this. I honestly do, but not nearly as bad as I feel for Bryant McKinnie, facilities supervisor at Simray Solutions LLC in Aurora, Colorado.
What is that, a janitor?
I guess so, yeah. I mean, that might be him at this
It
point.
might be.
And also, Bryant McKinnie, someone who was 8 years old in 1964
Is he
in
run over by a
Woodbury,
truck?
in Woodbury Heights, required treatment at the Underwood Hospital for lacerations of forehead when he fell against a car door.
God damn. Or was pushed against it because he's acting up.
Shoved, you little asshole.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. So July 7th, 2016, in Pleasantville, it says, Big Man's Camp. The Recreation Department will host a football camp for youth from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Saturday at the high school football field. Former professional football player Bryant McKinnie, a South Jersey native who played offensive tackle in the NFL, will be the special guest.
Is this how he's trying to get paid now?
I think this is how he's doing community service.
Maybe so, yeah.
I don't
it's gotta
think
be.
that doesn't sound at the high
That's not
school.
pay, no.
That's not pay, no. So May 7th, 2017 here. Here we go. They said, I'll just read the article here from the Miami Herald. It says, wait for it, Love and Hip Hop fans. The franchise is coming to Miami. Yup, TMZ reports that Bryant McKinnie is already on board. The former University of Miami player is the first athlete to join the cast of the show. Are they paying money? He'll be there.
He's on a show?
Love and Hip Hop. Yeah, it's a reality type show. As Love and Hip Hop New York. Sources tell the gossip site that McKinnie is a fixture. He's like, I will get, if you pay me, I'll show up every day. You don't understand.
God.
Wow. He's had a hard time. They said that, okay, the one-time offensive tackle who was briefly with the Dolphins won't be focusing on athletics, though. McKinnie is actually a Grammy-winning music producer.
What? What are you talking about?
For rapper Pleasure P's solo debut.
Okay.
The introduction of Marcus Cooper, and is working with big-time hip-hop talent like Lil' Kim on her 5th album, Season.
In almost 2020.
What the fuck? Kim told TMZ, I respect Bryant's energy and input. When I really started to listen to him, I realized that he really knows music and gives you nothing but real talk when you ask for his opinions.
She's like 55, isn't she?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. For real. Wow. Kim said it's always the turn up with him when I'm in Miami. We actually met at the club, and a lot of that type of energy is what I want on this new album, and he knows that. Well, if you want strip club energy, if there's anybody that can deliver that to you, it's this man. He knows this thing.
The turn up. Shit.
Wow. August 8th.
Stop talking like that.
Yeah, you're more than 50. August 8th, 2022. Bryant McKinnie will be competing in America's Got Talent.
Oh, my God.
McKinnie is part of the Players Choir, a music group made up of entirely current and former NFL players. The athletes turned artists have been competing in this season of America's Got Talent. McKinnie, along with Bears legend and fellow choir member Tommy Harris, joined voice of the Vikings Paul Allen on KFan's 9 to noon Monday morning. The two talked about being on the Players Choir and their America's Got Talent experience, which started with a rendition of Lean on Me, praised by Simon Cowell.
Oh, my God.
Holy shit, man. He said a lot of us, oh, no, this is McKinnie. Yeah, McKinnie said a lot of us started in the church, so it was really a gospel choir. We took the song Lean on Me and gave it an even more gospel feel. He said, some people will be surprised by the song we sing on Tuesday. It'll be a little different for us, but I think we nailed it. Yeah. McKinnie shared a hint about his upcoming performance, telling the host that he and other men will be putting a spin on a Justin Timberlake song.
Oh, boy, bringing sexy back.
They said his feet are really good. So he was told that, are you going to be dancing? And he said, yeah. They said, the other guy said, he has really good feet for a big man.
Uh-huh.
He moves around. February 9th, 2024, McKinnie to visit Scranton.
Oh, really?
Boy.
He's doing a whole tour.
Lackawanna College football legend is finally set to make a long-awaited return to Scranton this month in time to celebrate Black History Month and perhaps the biggest honor of his career on the gridiron. Former Falcons tackle Bryant McKinnie, they mean the Lackawanna Falcons, is slated to make a visit to the school 2 months after his induction into the College Football Hall of Fame, which he will be inducted into. And a quarter century since his dominant 2-year run as a left tackle for Mark Duda there. He's also going to do public speaking and at the People's Security Bank Theater in the college's Angeli Hall. And they said, we're excited to welcome Bryant McKinnie back to the Lackawanna College campus. I bet you are.
Doing a whole Remember Me tour. Jesus.
So nowadays, Bryant McKinnie, this is what he's actually doing. He is COO at Let's Chat Inc. with a Z. Let's Chat Inc. I don't know. It says he is retired 12-year NFL veteran and Super Bowl champion. Let's Chat Inc. It's got a little logo on there. And Let's Chat is proud to be part of the Comcast ecosystem through the Comcast NBC Universal Sports Tech Accelerator.
What the fuck?
Our innovative platform powers live translation solutions for brands like the Dallas Mavericks, where fans can experience translated content on their website, merchandise store, and mobile app.
He's part of somebody's company that translates words for foreign shit?
And he's the chief operating officer for this shit, too.
What is that?
It lists his net worth at $13.5 million, which
Impossible.
I can't imagine how he hasn't made that much money producing music. No fucking way. Can't get enough of Bryant McKinnie? Well, get his 2002 Sage Hit autograph card here. Yeah. That's the brand, and it's got a little autograph there. $7.99 or best offer.
Wow.
And that's, his real autograph that came out of the pack like that. And 2002 Topps number 352 Bryant McKinnie rookie card is $1.69 on eBay. Okay. So there you go. They do say it says popular item. 3 have already sold.
Is that right?
I don't know. People must love him. So there you go, everybody. That is Bryant McKinnie.
Oh, this ain't over.
No, something stupid's going to happen. He's going to do something dumb to somebody. Running 100%. Through the Okra patch. Anybody who said that. So there we go, everybody. If you enjoyed that show, tell everyone you fucking know about it. And when you're done with that, get on social media and tell everybody out there as well. You don't know those people, but tell them about it anyway. So do that. Definitely give us a review on whatever app you listen to this on. And if you get done with that and you have some more apps, fucking lay a review on those too. They help a ton. Do all of that. Head over to shutupandgivememurder.com. Get your tickets for 2025 Small Town Murder live shows. There's 12 shows we're doing. And then, of course, we'll do a couple of the virtual lives as well for all of you folks who can't quite get there. Australia, looking at you because you were upset we couldn't get there. Sorry, we wish we could. Trust me. Pittsburgh, you're up first, February 7th, February 8th in Columbus the next night. So let's make that first weekend a big one. We can't wait. Real nice venues at both of those places. So come there, shutupandgivememurder.com. Do that. And also, for sure, follow us on social media at Crime and Sports. And also get yourself Patreon. Do yourself a favor. You can go back a couple years and listen to that Love Boat episode in its entirety. More details about it. But the patreon.com/crimeinsports. You get all of your bonus material. Anybody $5 a month or above, there's hundreds of back episodes you're going to get immediately upon subscription. New ones every other week. You get a Crime and Sports, you get a Small Town Murder. This week is no different, and you get them all for that $5. For Crime and Sports, personal ads time again. Yes. Oh, baby. How did people market themselves in a newspaper for love? We'll find out. It's hilarious. Then, those are always fun. Then for Small Town Murder, we are going to dive into the West Memphis 3. Not the entire story, because that would be about 15 hours worth of bullshit. We're going to just talk about how the fuck we got to the point of these kids even sitting in a police station being talked to. I loved, what the fuck? How do we get to the point where HBO had to even go there? We'll talk all about that shit because it's a convoluted mess of how that happened. Just a perfect storm of small town weirdness and fucking judgmental shittiness and just honestly just dishonesty and fucking and poor people wanting a reward. That's a lot of it too. We'll talk all about it. Patreon.com/crimeinsports. And
Yeah.
you get a shout out at the end of the show, which is right now. Jimmie, hit me with the names of the people who would never, ever, ever try to run through our okra patch. Jimmie, hit me with them right now.
This week's executive producers are Liz Vasquez, Peyton Meadows, Gary Howard, Amy Barton, Janice Hill, Ben Cartledge, and Marlene Parsons.
Nice. Some of our favorites
just one
in there.
of them. Yeah, you guys, thank you all for being a part of this for so long.
Yeah, thank you so much.
And really doing it. And Ben Cartledge,
Absolutely.
too. He's fantastic.
Yeah, Liz sends us Christmas presents. Thank you so much, guys.
Other producers this week, Chase Scott, Thomas Smith, Madeline Schreier, Jason, Fran with no last name, Fran B, Jessica Martin, Anastasia with no last name, Matthew Norris, Shark Loaf, I don't know what that is, Brian Sidney, Elizabeth
it's like
Gibbons.
But shark.
It's just shark in there. Yeah, Steffi J, Danielle Holt, Lily with no last name, Wesley Dusenberry, Abby Fernandez, Mark with no last name, Clarence Greiser, Greaser maybe, Mitch with no last name, Joe Hartwell, Claude Musselman. I wrote that and I just got it. That's fantastic.
Oh, I love it. Found him out in the garden.
Don't dig on this property. Anything in here you dig up, it's yours. We're still looking for the horse.
Still got a horse around here. It hasn't been accounted for.
Very well done. A patron, Jason with no last name, Kyle P, Miranda Randalls, Tiffany Greenwood, Aaron Ziegler, Nathan Burrows, Jason with no last name, J.M. Big Brown, Stephen Carson, Kristen, that's Kirsten Bodie, Stephanus Lombard. It's not Stephanus, is
Lombard.
It might be. Michael Peplinski, Vanessa Keyhole, J. Bad Fowler, Flower, that's what that is. Wes Watts, Jessica Allen, Kat Graham, Dustin Lumley, Paula with no last name, Crunky Basil, Candy Kane, I'm sure. Jen Kontafalski. Kontafalski? What the?
Wow.
All right. Katie B, Caitlin Yancey, Jessica Lupo, Milan Puskas, Jen Walsh, Stephen Moore, Stefan maybe, Lost My Taco, Brian with no last name, Emmanuel Villarreal, Cecilia with no last name, Rory Zakowski, Brandy Shearer, Lachlan McNeil, Denise Rule, Candace Shahan maybe, Sean, Thomas Hall, Benja, just Benja? All right, no last name, Benya, Owen
Benya.
Fledging, Jesus, Clarissa Miller, Brian Schroyer, Book Lady, Lyle with no last name, Amy Stevens, Bethany Bach, Brian and Faye Todd, Agent Buttery Nipples, all right, Jennifer with no last name, Caroleanne, Hirondell, Rory with no last name, David Horn, Richard with no last name, Adam with no last name, Carly Dyes, Angie Huggard, Camille Heinrich, Missy with no last name, Chaz Langston, Jody Prulette. Pryorette. All right. Lachlan Cole, Matt Cameron, Brandon Murphy, Gabriella Snyder, Kaylee North, Bryn Sheely maybe, Michael Johnstone, Sam Richardson, Melissa Ergot, Tristan Adams, Joe Hewitt, Will with no last name, Trevor Coulter, Britt Walls, Dan Yaman, Dill Dozer. Oh, gotcha. Dill Dozer. Got it? All right. Courtney Jadaly, okay. Megan Lee, Susan Suma, Michelle Nichols, Michael with no last name, Chris Clinton, Jenny Harmuth, GB Brooks, Brandy Hammond Smith, Muriel Lavender, Chris Elder, Lisa Odium. Is that an I? It's an I. Odium. Josh Chalmers, Jesse Alexander, Leslie Ann, Lurky, Launamore.
Lurky sounds like something like a way you'd call some. I don't know. He's okay, but he's a little lurky.
Lurky.
Just creeps around the corner on you every once in a while.
Lona more. Maybe a little more. Emily Gage, Sweener with no last name. Buttercrumbs. Doreen B. Mark Chapa Delaney. C.J. Fritch, Kaylee Stubbins maybe, Robert Green, Amber with no last name, Ducky Gunther, Madeline Pressman, Selena Coppert, 83 Pisces, Melissa Jesse, Susan Mazer, Christian Newton, Lori Bracken, Pete with no last name, Kevin R., Samantha Savory, Matthew Cosgrove, Robin Bobbin, all right, Mark with no last name, Lee Gamble, Dash with no last name, Chandra with no last name, Emily A., Marissa McNeil, Barbie Bayer, Denise Spivey, Rena Sheets, Kyle Gennekin, Ryan Petita, Amy Baxter, Aaron Rail, Tanya May, Carrie Harder, Melissa Peters, Bitchy Grandma, Noah Wilson, Sophia Carlson, True Zigzag, those fake ones, they're the worst. Stephen Ramirez, Diane Ringel, Keith O, Richard Higby, Leslie Benson, Jesus fucking Christ, Jacob Mowry, Dwayne Jeffries, Nellie T, Allie Billing, Tiggle Biddies, Melinda Denton, Megan Martin, Roxanne, with no last name, and all of our patrons. You guys are the best. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody. You fantastic, wonderful bastards. We appreciate the shit out of everything you do for us all the time. So thank you for just everything you've done for us this past year. And new year, we got some good stuff coming up. We got a lot of Evil Knievel. We got China coming up here next week, which is we've been saving that one for a while. Michael Vick's back in the news. We'll have to bring him up, of course. We haven't talked about Michael Vick yet. He's going to be there.
The other left-handed Atlanta quarterback whose last name sounds like Dick.
The other one, exactly. Let's hope Penix has a better outcome.
Yeah. Leave the dogs alone, Penix.
Anyway, there you go. Have that. Thank you so much. Keep doing all that. You want to follow us on social media, head over to shutupandgivememurder.com. You'll find everything you want in those there drop-down menus. That said, live from the Crime and Sports studio, we will see you next week.
Bye.
If you like Crime and Sports, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.